Let's dive into all of this right now. Yeah, and check it out because I got the proper 66. Which if you drink this, it's kind of like the antidote from obeying Order 66. Okay, so I've got this, so it's not exactly Spotchka, but I do got the Jawa egg juice in hand. I got the wizard juice. I got coffee. So does Patrick, who's in the house tonight. We both got the coffee cup, baby. And it doesn't matter what table you're on, but you're going to have to wait because, look, I'm all out. We're brewing it. I've got tons of these brewing. Let's start off with Patrick in the house.
Aries, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the panel tonight.
Your videos are awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I watch them all the time. You got a really good vibe, like everybody else that's in here. So I'm real excited that you're able to join. And then we got Desi. What's going on?
Aries, thank you for having me back. Very glad to be here on a Saturday night of all nights. My favorite night of the week. I don't know about everybody else, but gonna have some fun. Lots to talk about as always.
It's Halloween Eve. Halloween Eve. You know, a lot of people, buddy, they really liked the Aries Terrington show when you were the guest. So we got a lot of good play on that.
Excellent. Glad to hear that.
Yes. And is it possible, Dante, that you're going to be the guest once again on the Aries Terrington show next week? And I say yes. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, Aries guys? Everyone at home watching us right now on a Saturday night. Very happy to be here. Can't wait, man. Can't wait for the show.
Yeah, and look, as we keep going down the panel here, what's up, Loco Lou? We got to get Loco Lou on here soon. Loco Lou is in the house. Exotic Carfax, Negan, ex-Army, Kid Clumsy. Man, look at everybody in here. Mitchell Meza, Lane Kramer. Lane's going to be on. Lane's going to be on soon. We got Barrett, Jackpot B1, brother cousins.
Hey.
Hey. I saw the banner, and we were talking about it backstage of your latest video. So for people that don't know about it yet, just real quick, like tell them what you did there.
Oh my God. So yeah, we just did the video for the top 10 hot toys that we personally hate. I always talk about hot toys that I love. I mean, and I get some flack about people like, you love everything. You love hot toys, of course. But there are some that I don't like at all. And these are the ones in the top 10 list of, and you got to watch it. It's a must watch. Posted it last night. It's getting real good feedback. So please check that out on the channel.
Yeah, everybody in the chat. I didn't get a chance to today getting ready for this show and everything else that I've had to do, but I cannot wait to see that. And last but certainly not least, the 6 Scale Mafia. Anthony, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm glad to be here as always. It's a Halloween Eve, man. You know, it was I almost dressed up, and I'm glad I didn't, man. I would have looked like an ass. So it's like, we gonna do something cool for Halloween or what? But I'm just glad to be here, guys. It's awesome.
Is it possible that we'll hear from the Hot Toys Wizard on Halloween Eve? You never know. I don't know how busy the Hot Toys Wizard is a changeling. So, could look like Julia Roberts, could look like Ian McDermott, the Emperor. So easy for the Hot Toys Wizard to dress up for Halloween. Guys, there's a whole lot going on. I'm going to start it off with the obvious, baby. Okay. Let's go to 6 Scale Cantina. And again, welcome to everybody who's in the chat. And if I didn't call your name out, look, there's a lot of you in there. Welcome, everybody. And in case you didn't know, because I introduced everybody but myself, And yes, Spotchka me up. You got it, Alexandros. I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Terrington, and I serve up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk. And that's me right there on the screen in cartoon form. And look at the latest news, guys. I go shoot down here. And for you everyone watching, you know the drill. If you don't got 6 Scale Cantina bookmarked, you may want to consider doing so. It not only has all the latest news and what's going on in the channel, like you can see right here. I had this live tonight, eve of Halloween, 6 p.m. Eastern. Here we are live. You get the latest updates there, but all the latest secondary market news as well for Hot Toys, for Star Wars, but all the latest news. And you can see the latest breaking news this week was, look, guys, this Shoretrooper from The Mandalorian was released right on the heels of the Rogue One Shoretrooper. And Dante, I'm going to give you credit on this because you were very, very bold when you were on the last show, or the last show that I was on with you. It might have been the Unfiltered from last week when Easy was on. And I think you said that this was going to come in a week, and it sure did.
Yeah, well, I so credit to my sources because they were the ones who gave me this information. So shout out to them. You guys know who you are, who gave me this information. So I was told, late October, early November. It happened late October, pretty much yesterday. So very happy with the release, because to me, this is just me personally. I love the Shoretroopers, man. They are actually pretty good characters. I just kind of like the design, the badass look they have. So yeah, I mean, it was a no-brainer, right? They did the Rogue One before, pretty much everything done, paint it, pack it up, send it to people. That's what they did. So it was a good call. I think it was a very welcome release.
Yeah, and Desi, moving to you, we talked about this also with Dante before. It made sense because, look, one of the discussions we were having is they already have basically all the armor done. I mean, basically, it's new paint apps with just a little bit of a difference, is because this is a grunt, and not the squad leader. So you're putting this through a production line, and then you're there might be some special painted effects. I don't think any special hand painted effects with these, but from an artist perspective, which is what you are, this makes complete sense to be out on the heels of the one that just came out. Yeah,
Aries, absolutely. They probably produced all the the plastic injection molding pieces all at once. The grunt and the squad leader, right? And then they just changed the assembly line a little bit for the paint applications, because it's basically the same thing. A couple of components are different, maybe on the squad leader he's got the skirt, right? But it's just really a paint application. So this is great, and I love this design, the trooper design. This is the best, to me, the best trooper design since the original Stormtrooper design of 1977. So beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. And just want to give a quick shout out with 58 already in here. Please go ahead and already hit the like button. You don't got to wait till later in the show or when someone types it in, hit it. I do appreciate that because we want Howard to really pay attention to this episode. I want to give a shout out here to Major Bren Derlin. Just a new member, a new Cantina Insider. And thank you so much. Love your avatar there, my friend. So thank you for that. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer coming out with this on the heels. And I'm going to get to another point with this, but let's get to Pate Strick, because this is the first time you're in the house. I love your videos. I love your take on a lot of this stuff. Your opinion on them coming right out with that right after the other.
Well, I will tell you, people want these troopers. They want the grunts because you see a lot of people on Instagram and Facebook. They take their figures and they have the commanders in the front, and then they have just lines of dozens of troopers. People love this army building stuff, including myself. I've got a lot of 501st clones, and just the photography you can take with these I mean, just like look at that for example.
Yeah.
When you have so many of these put together, it just makes this beautiful recreation, and a lot of people are going to want to recreate battles and stuff. And I just think it's a good move for them to go ahead and get these out of the way because a lot of people really want these to go with their commander.
No, I totally agree, Anthony. And what was your thoughts when you saw this come out? Were you surprised so close to each other, or not really?
No, not at all. Actually, I thought it was actually a really cool, really cool idea for them to do that because I think for the majority of people are probably just picking up like a squad leader, maybe two. Again, it just depends on the person, right? But so for them to do a back-to-back release to me is awesome because I hate, oftentimes we get something and we want something else that's going to complement it and it's, way down the road or it's not even announced yet, right? So having these both trooper variants back to back, I think is amazing.
Yeah, and brother cousins, it's very interesting that in a way they're almost competing with each other. You got the squad leader from Rogue One, and you've got the Mandalorian Shoretrooper, but they're certainly going to go hand to hand in troop building sets. Your take on this release?
Yeah, just harkens back to what Patrick was saying. Yeah, everybody wants the army build, and it's it's good money for Hot Toys, and it makes a lot of sense because with the grunt release, all they had to do was really paint some areas and just throw it in the box, and that was it. So it's good money, and it's good, and it's fun to recreate those scenes in army build. Me personally, I don't do too much army building. I think I'll probably get 1, 2, or 3 at the most. But for those that want to build those scenes out, it looks amazing in a display. So yeah, I'm glad that they were able to bring this out quicker, sooner than later. Because waiting for something like that, it makes no sense. But it's even in the future, I would like to see them do like a same day release type of thing because it's the same molded parts. As Desi was saying, it's not a big a big change or production that they have to do to put these out. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And DVS, you got it, baby. We got some Spotchka coming to table 23 for sure. Yeah. And let me go to this real quick. And I'll put this on here from JC with the $9.99 bomb. Always look forward to a chart show Saturday night. Thanks, Aries. You know what? We keep brewing more. And thank you with 80 watching, JC, for sure. And one of the interesting things about this, JC, and everybody in the chat, and you guys on the panel, is that I find it very interesting that I think that some people, let me get your take on this, Dante. I think for some collectors, you're going to get some that are going to choose the squad leader that may take the place of the very overpriced regular first Rogue One commander or whatever that was released. It's so hard to get $500-$600. And I think while you're going to get a lot of collectors that are going to get all three or try and get two, you're going to get some collectors that are going to choose one or the other. This one that just came out here or the one that just came out last week. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, I can agree with what Jay said. Me personally, I don't collect multiples. I don't think I have any doubles of anything right now. I think, but I'm tempted. I'm very tempted to get 2 of those. I got 1 already, actually. So when I put my video this morning, I said that I might not get it, but I just gonna change my mind. I just contact my boy, and then I got 1, but maybe I'm gonna get another one. And also, I'm thinking to get another 501st Trooper, and I'm gonna definitely get to Captain America 2012 because I want to have that display. But
right.
But yeah, that's the only time. It's really rare for me to get multiples of figures. A lot of people like it, but
especially if you're troop building.
Right.
And Desi, going to you, and thank you so much, JC. We all appreciate that on the panel. And Desi, they just came out with, and I'll see if I can go ahead and pull this up, and as I show this screen, so you have this here. This is the one that just came out the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just really the week before, you had this one, and I kind of feel like Hot Toys knows people want a troop build and so on and so forth. But I also think that they're knowing that it's okay for them to compete one Shoretrooper against another Shoretrooper, or one Coruscant guard against a 501st, or one figure against this figure, or something against another, because I think that they know that not everybody is going to get every figure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And also we have to remember, right, that these two aren't necessarily competing against each other. Hot Toys knew that the original Shoretrooper was selling so high, right? Especially before they
Yes.
announced this one. So they announced this one and the other one, the squad leader and the grunt, and they both, like we were just saying, have so many similar parts. The only thing they really need to change on the line is some of the tampo printing colors, some of the tampo printing locations, or whatever UV printing, whatever method they're using. And that's not as difficult, still difficult, but not as difficult as going from a Clone Wars Ahsoka to a Mandalorian Ahsoka, which are two completely different things, right? No, this is just keep the line moving, just change the color, right? It's not really going to hurt them that much. There's small runs of each. Works out perfect. It was a good idea.
Yeah, and I feel like Anthony, their Hot Toys is going to go ahead, and they're going to, in a way, and for some figures, for some, you could look at it like it's competing against each other. I'm going to lead into this in just a little bit, but also for them, if they're able to use the same armor, the same materials, the same supplies, the same molds, the same things that they have in house, it's not much of an investment, a new investment for them to be able to keep pumping these out and being able to generate profits. And here's something I want to bring to you, Anthony, here. You can see, I'm going to pump each one of these up on the screen. You have this right here, which is the Mandalorian on top of the blurg. Then you have this right here, which is Quill on top of the blurg. And then you have this here, which is the blurg. And then you have this here, which is Quill. Now, I will tell you right now, most collectors are not going to buy all four of what I just showed you on the screen. It's just not going to happen for the vast majority. And in a way, Sideshow is competing against itself. I mean, not Sideshow. Hot Toys is having some figures compete against itself. It's giving you the option to just buy the blurg. You don't have to buy the blurg with OG Mando. You can just buy the blurg, or you can buy the OG Mando with the blurg. You don't have to buy Quill in the blurg. You could just buy Quill, or you can just buy a blurg. So I feel like that they're okay with that. And the reason I'm going to your opinion on this is it possible because they're not going to be making so many of these figures. They already know that they're not going to overproduce so many. They're making a certain amount, and there's going to be a certain piece of the pie that people go to. But there's a pizza pie. I want it with sausage. I want it with pepperoni and sausage. I want it plain with just cheese. What do you think on this?
It is an interesting thing because, like you mentioned, we have four different. We'll just say the four different releases, right? Four different SKUs, but they're all recycled. So in that respect, I think it's a smart business decision on their part because maybe I don't want to spend $500 and something for a blurg, and I just want Quill, or maybe I already have OG Mando, and so for them, I think it's extremely a smart tactic because they're all the same figures. All those parts are the same. They just break them down individually, just kind of salad bar it, So what do you want as the consumer? And it's a win-win for them. If the blurg and Quill combo doesn't sell a lot, no big deal, because I think it's all basically like consider it like one big production run with just a couple figures. So either way, they win. You know, so
Yeah.
it's interesting, and it is because a lot of those are really expensive. Like you said, hardcore people may pick up every single one of those, but the majority of people are not.
And Brother Cousins, let's go to you with this. I mean, what do you feel on this? I feel the way that I'm sensing the way that they're coming out of COVID and the way that they're going to go ahead and go through this world storm, if you will. I don't feel like you could look at Hot Toys the same way you did 3 years ago, because I feel like that they're changing their model to be able to adapt to the times. And do you also feel that they're going to come out with more figures, but they're not all going to be anywhere near to where the best car Mandalorian is right now, where you got free shipping on the deluxe version? Some of those figures, I think they're going to continue to do that. Some of your Iron Man figures, some of your Mandalorian releases, but not releases like this. It looks like they're fine, just making maybe a few thousand.
Yeah. And I absolutely see them doing like that. I think this is really good business. And the reason why is they're not excluding anybody out with this. They are being loyal to the people that have already been like us, that are already been buying into the Mandalorian line. So they're giving us the option, because I know most people on this panel, I think we all have Durasteel Mando. So there's no need to get a Durasteel Mando on the blurg. So we may want that. So they'll give us the blurg by itself. But for that collector that just got into Hot Toys and that doesn't have the money, and at the time they didn't get Mando, they can get Durasteel Mando on the blurg and vice versa. So I think this is good business, and I think this is the best way to do it. And they don't have to do, like you said, they don't have to do, of those single runs, they don't have to do a whole bunch, maybe about a couple of thousand, because they don't want stock just left around on the shelf. They did that. I mean, that's what we're seeing with Mando. They kind of shot themselves in the foot with the Beskar Mando, and then coming out with the newer Mando with the Pedro Pascal head sculpt. And because you got people that's going to sit around and be like, hey, I don't want to get that. But you also have people that are impatient. That's like, hey, I need a Mando. Give me that.
Well, I'll be honest with you. They'll probably want to get rid of those Beskar Mandalorians before that crow-plated one comes out, right, Brother Cousins? Because then they'll never move it by then.
Exactly. So they got to get rid. So yeah, you're going to see. They can't exactly do a price drop, but what they can do is like what they're doing is offering free shipping and all that stuff. So yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Well, before we get to Dante and Desi, Patrick, your opinion on this, because I'm starting to see perhaps a trend or a recipe where you're going to get a lot of releases, but there's not necessarily going to be a whole lot of volume with each release. And also, there may be some reused materials, some reused molds over and over again to capitalize on profits. What say you?
I'll tell you how they could have sold this to everybody. They could have re-released the OG Mando with battle-damaged armor from after the Mudhorn, and they could have given him that dirty, beat-up look where he's missing half of his armor and he's covered in mud, and you can only get that figure with the blurg. Everybody would have bought one, and I think that they missed an opportunity there with that. But at the same time, I understand the strategy that you guys are saying, that I get both sides. But I would have bought that if it had the battle damaged armor.
Yeah. Howard, hire this man. Wow. Dante, your take on this.
So yes, it is good to have options. I mean, absolutely. It is always good to have options, but also you need to think about, when they give you so many options like that, what is the number behind it? Like, for example, how many blurgs are they going to produce? How many quells are they going to produce? How many blurg and quell or Mando and blurgs are going to produce? So depending on what they see, after announcing all this, they will say, okay, we're just going to make, let's say, 1,000 blurgs. We're going to make maybe 3,000 quells, because people are going to buy quell, right? Some people are saying, you know what, it's okay with the blur, but you know what, I'm 50-50. I'd rather probably buy the bundle, for example, right? So it all comes at the end of the day, obviously, options, but also what is the quantity behind it? Because let me tell you this: once the blurg is sold out, and once those, Mando with the blurg and Quad with the blurg are sold out, people are gonna jump like crazy to get the blurg because the price is gonna. I don't think they're gonna make a lot of those. It's gonna be really low quantity.
Yeah.
Dante's 100% right.
Yeah.
And Desi, from an artist perspective, reusing a lot of things. I mean, do you see Hot Toys, the Shoretrooper? We're looking at it's like Anthony said. You're kind of making one production run here. You got the blurb. You're gonna put the blurb with the Quill. You're gonna put the blurb with Mando. You're gonna have him by itself. You got Quill. You got Mandalorian again. You're gonna see a lot of this. You think to capitalize on some profits?
I think we always have, whether we've noticed or not, and we're going to continue to see it. Every company does this. Every toy company, for sure, Hasbro does it, and especially now Hot Toys, they have to do it, right? It's like we just said, it's the same blurb, right? I agree with Paystrick. Definitely would have liked to see the damaged armor, right? Because it would require a new mold for that, at least a chest plate, right? But the rest of it would have just been muddy kind of weathering. That would have been easy enough. It would have been paint. But hey, even if they don't, again, yeah, you're going to see a lot of reused parts.
Well, with 120 in here, please go ahead and hit double smash the like button, everybody. It is Saturday Night Live, and I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Terrington, serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk, along with Desi for Metamorphic Customs, Dante for the Man of Hot Collectibles, brother cousins, 6 Scale Mafia, Paystrick, come on. Subscribe to all of these guys. All right. Who do I want to go to here first? I want to go to Paystrick. Paystrick.
Yes, sir.
This is one of my favorite things to predict. I have this up on the screen. Let's do it.
Oh, yes.
Now, but it's not what you think. We could talk about it. But they're coming out with this, right? We all know that they moved this up. They're producing it. If it's not in production already, maybe the production is done, Paystrick. However, I got a text, which is not a call. I think I'll get a call later. I got a text from the Hot Toys Wizard, who's basically telling me what I'm going to put on the screen for you next is going to be coming out real quick, fast, and in a hurry because of what we were just talking about. So let me go ahead and pull that up on the screen.
Oh, yes, definitely. They have the armor. They're going to do everything they can with the armor. And they know people buy Boba Fett figures. No, this isn't Boba Fett, but it's Boba Fett's armor. And people want that in their collections.
Yep.
Brother Cousins, I mean, I don't know how many blurgs they're going to sell. And obviously, whatever amount that they're going to sell is enough for them, whether it's 1,000, 2,000, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
Is it possible that they'll probably sell more of this Mandalorian armor here? Cobb Vanth? This is a no-brainer for me. They don't need to make so many of this for them to capitalize on a profit. Yes, they got a head sculpt, which probably with Timothy Oliphant's not going to be too difficult to get done. We just had the one come out here from the Black Series. I'll throw it up on the screen. So obviously he approved it quick with Hasbro.
Yep.
What do you think?
I think we're going to get it. Definitely. But you know what? For some reason, the more I see this and the more I think about it, I see this being like a Toy Fair exclusive for some reason. Mm-hmm. I get that feel from it. I don't know. What do you guys think? I really think that this is going to be like I really see this coming next year, next summer as a Toy Fair exclusive.
Good Dante, I'll go to you. I mean, is it possible we're going to be getting more exclusives than maybe we usually get with this new trend that Hot Toys may be moving into?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, they teased this already without the Hascop, obviously, but I can see this to be more like an exclusive, like a Toy Fair exclusive, something that can be out within a month or two to build up the hype and maybe transition to the next season of the Mandalorian. I mean, they pretty much have the armor and everything else, if you think about it, right? They're working already on the Boba Fett 2-pack, which again I'm gonna stick with my prediction, December. I think we're gonna see that one being released. So yeah, I can see this one more as an exclusive, but I'm still here. It's just my camera. Sometimes it's stupid. So I think that if they're gonna do an okay, so let me do this. If they're gonna do an exclusive, like a con exclusive or summer showcase, whatever, it may not come with a head sculpt, right? But if it's like a normal release, like in a normal announcement that you see it anytime for next year, sometime next year, I can see with the head sculpt. So it's kind of like a 50-50 one right now.
Yeah, no, that's a good perspective. And Anthony, let's go to you. Whether they do it that way or not, for me, I feel like whether we get a head sculpt or we don't, not everybody's going to buy this. But guess what, Anthony? Not everybody's buying the blurg. Not everybody's buying all the things I flashed on the screen. Not everybody's buying the Shoretrooper. Not everybody's buying the Lando. Not everybody's buying the Venom. But there'll be enough people that bought Venom, the amount, the quantity, and the quantity of the blurg. Well, they'll certainly get this with Boba Fett armor.
Yeah, I agree with Brother Cousins on that one too. As a toy fair, it screams toy fair exclusive. Like it just does. If because it's such a one-off figure in one episode, but to a lot of people, myself included, absolutely love him. As the actor, I love Justified. I love Deadwood.
Yeah.
His character very much kind of felt like that too. He had that kind of martial feel. In Mando, he's and as everybody was saying, it's everything they already have. The only thing they need to do is get the head sculpt down. So everything else is pennies on the dollars for them. And like you said, there's people. There's something for everybody out there. Not everybody's buying every single thing, but I guarantee you this guy is going to sell if they put him out.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think you're right. Desi, from an artist perspective, look, if they give me this like this, I can't resist.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Dante here. My fear, if this is an exclusive, is that we're not going to get a head sculpt. We may, even if it's an exclusive, but I think we won't if it is. And having it be this actor and this character, how do you release this without having a head sculpt, right? This isn't Axe Woves, right? This is
right. You can get away with that one.
Yeah, this is the Marshall, all right? So, like, if you're going to do an exclusive, that's fine. I understand would be a shorter production run, but I hope we see a head sculpt here.
Absolutely. 119 watching. Hit. Smash the like button. What table are you at the cantina? I'll pour it in, baby. Look, I'm pretty excited tonight. I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to start off with you, Brother Cousins, on this, because this is very interesting to me. It goes along the same topic. So I'm trying to blow you guys away with some statistics here. So when you talk about figures that are competing against themselves, we have 2 Shoretroopers that are up on the market. We got basically 3 blurgs. You got a blurg with Quill. You got a blurg with the Mando. You got blurg by itself. And we often talk about other Star Wars figures. Oh, they'll never do this. They'll never do that. And pulling this up onto the screen, I'm going to show you 25 Iron Man Tony Starks that are up on pre-order or in stock. And this is not included what's on eBay. Okay, look at this.
Yeah.
25 are Hot Toys competing against. Now, listen, I know Iron Man's awesome.
Yep.
He is awesome. Let me not just stop at Iron Man. Let me throw this up on the screen. Also blow you away. I'm going to show you 17 Spider-Mans that are on pre-order or in stock that you can choose from. They're not competing against themselves for people to choose 1 Spider-Man, 2 Spider-Mans, 3 Spider-Mans. You got to choose 17 here, baby.
17's not enough.
Listen,
no, it's not.
So when we talk about, and here's what I want to ask you. Here's what I want to ask you for real. And I'm going to throw this up on the screen. to set the table. I know Spider-Man's awesome. I know Iron Man's awesome. But let's not forget about Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. They're no slouches.
That's right.
And sometimes I hear, oh, you can't have 3 Lukes, 4 Lukes. Are you kidding me? I just showed you 17 Spider-Mans. What say you?
Yeah, give me Luke. Give me 15 Lukes. Seriously, give them all to me. So yeah, definitely we need more Luke. But I think that's also this part of the appeal of Luke, because we don't get Luke that often. So I think that's also a tactic in a weird way. So when we do get a Luke, people are just gonna go and grab him. I mean, look what happened a couple months back when they did this Luke right here, exactly this one. People went crazy. So yeah, give us more. We need more.
And look at how high it's going up there, Patestrick. This particular figure anyway, it's continually selling very, very well.
Absolutely.
Like the Mandalorian. And look, I just showed you 2 Lukes that are available. Nowhere near 17 Spider-Mans, nowhere near 25 Tony Starks, Iron Mans that are up on pre-order are in stock. And what I want to point out here is I don't believe at all that we are in danger just because these 2 are up of not getting this. As in a matter of fact, I think we're going to get this and possibly another Luke, which I'll bring up in a little bit. But I don't even think they got to use this head sculpt that they teased. Personally, I think they're going to go ahead and give us this. And just as we're talking about reusing armor and reusing molds and all that kind of stuff, I think they're probably going to use this bad boy right here.
Definitely.
And they're going to change the hair, and that's going to be your Bespin Luke.
Absolutely.
I think you're exactly right. I really do. That's a very good point.
And Desi, going to you from an artist perspective, we've been talking for months. And I think when I'm looking at this now, I showed 17 Spider-Mans, 25 Tony Starks. We look at the Shoretrooper. We're looking at Cobb Vanth. We're looking at reusing. They see how good Luke is doing. People want a Bespin Luke. Give us this head sculpt they did here. And change the paint.
Yeah. And it's funny you mentioned this because I was thinking exactly this before the stream started, specifically Spider-Man. It's like, well, how many Lukes can they have? Well, it's like, well, how many Spider-Man and Iron Man do they have? And I know it's not a fair comparison because I'm sure Marvel sells much better, right? But Luke doesn't, is no slouch either, at least in the U.S. market, right? So they can absolutely bring in, another Luke for a total of 3 or 4. That shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. Not for them, not to impose what I think on Hot Toys, but come on, they could do it. Shouldn't be an issue.
Absolutely. And thank you, Lane. Lane Kramer with the $2 bomb. If not enough Spideys, No Way Home coming. You know what? You're right. Because the third Spider-Man is coming out. And it's the right time to have a lot of those figures that are due out to probably come out. And Dante, I know you speak a lot about that. And thank you so much, Lane, for that $2 super chat. And Dante, you're pretty good with, getting your sources with they're talking about head sculpts and wanting to, keep the same head sculpts and being able to do a repaint a little bit easier. They don't have to pay as much, less approvals, things of that nature. Less of them being worried about people complaining, like the Tony Stank head sculpt. Is it possible that with the Luke Bespin, what's going to happen is that they're just going to repaint it a little bit, give you different hair? There's your Luke Bespin.
I think it's going to be a new upgraded head sculpt. I think they have to do that. Just because it is Luke Skywalker, right? It is one of the main characters in Star Wars. So and I mean, we got the Return of the Jedi Luke, we got the Endor Luke, we got the deluxe Luke, pretty much same hair sculpts, different hair styles. So I think it's time to do a change. And if they're gonna do a 40th anniversary Bespin look, for example, they can easily do an upgrade with the house sculpt.
And I think that that's what I would want, Dante, is for them to do that. But it's like when they put out that armor and they wanted to put out something quick, and they put the fit together with 2 Phillips head screwdrivers, and I'm just being honest. I mean, I want the updated head sculpt. I believe you're right. We are going to get it. But I think it's possible if they just want to put something out and they want to say they use the same one. And that is a fear. But as a really, really interesting point, let's go to Anthony on this. They're going to give us a new head sculpt. They're going to give us an old head sculpt. Also to the point, Anthony, they've got 17 Spider-Mans, 25 Iron Mans. Luke Skywalker's Luke Skywalker. I don't think that we should assume we're going to be limited to 2.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's Luke. He's like you said, he's no slouch. He is the top dog of Star Wars. It's Luke Skywalker, dude. Like, there's no doubt. And it's long overdue, that Bespin Luke, for a reissue. And I know it's not going to be the 2-pack, and it's probably not going to have the cool Vader helmet with his, that's exclusive. I get that. That's fine. It could be a 2.0. I think you're right though about the suit one right here that they're bringing out soon. They could use an updated head like that, and keep in mind, like, a couple of these Lukes, if you guys know, the hair is just magnetic on most of these guys. So have the updated sculpt and just have the same concept. Switch the magnet thing out, make it look kind of like the first Bespin Luke, just a little bit better. And yeah, he'll just, that's a sellout piece right there, man. Like,
sell out.
Yeah, and it stinks because Marvel has been doing reissue after reissue after reissue, and we don't have. I mean, not that I like reissues, right? And again, it's it's a 2.0, so that's acceptable, I guess, in my eyes. But like, they're not doing anything with Star Wars like that, so he has to come out. Otherwise, that's just a huge tease, and you're pissing off a lot of fans. I mean, quite frankly, if they don't put it out.
Brother Cousins, is he right? And is Dante onto something? Do they have to, like, I pray they give us a new head sculpt? Or are they going to go ahead and reuse the other one? Also, are we going to get multiple Lukes like that Bespin Luke? Is it coming?
It's coming. It's definitely coming. I think Star Wars is strong right now, really big in the 1/6 scale community. So I think people want it, and especially after how season 2 Mandalorian ended. The people want Luke, so we definitely need it. And yeah, it's so much stuff with Marvel, and so many reissues with Marvel and Iron Man. And I mean, we just saw like 26 Spider-Man and 27 Iron Man. So
it's interesting when you sort that out, right? It's kind of like, I play with this stuff and I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Nope, I didn't even realize it was that many. It's ridiculous. So yeah, we're definitely going to see more Luke, especially that Bespin Luke. And I mean, I would like to. I know we're not going to get it, but I really would like to see a reissue of the Bespin Luke 2-pack, because I think that Luke is just.
Oh man,
it's such a great set to have for a Star Wars fan, but we're not going to get it.
We're not.
I agree with you, man. I'd love to have it, but I think that would piss people off even more if they reissued the 2-pack.
Yeah, definitely. That's an expensive set, and I know people paid a pretty penny for it. And if they reissue that. Yeah,
right. I mean, I'll take it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I think we're just getting that single.
Yeah.
Well, Mafia times James, thank you for the $2 bomb, my friend. He's saying we need an Empire Strikes Back Han Solo. Listen, you jumped the gun, baby, but we're going to get there in just a few. And Indiana Jones, you're going to get Indiana Jones because Disney's making the Indiana Jones movie, and they're going to come out with an Indiana Jones figure.
I hope so.
Yes, they're absolutely going to do it. They're not going to sign Harrison Ford to all this and be like, hey, by the way, you can't make any merchandise off me. He doesn't tell Disney what he's going to do. Disney's going to tell him what he's going to do. Once they put up the money, he was never going to do Star Wars. Remember that.
Yep.
Then they said, what about $40 billion for Force Awakens? Okay, I'll do Star Wars.
No, but rumor has it for the Indiana Jones that is going to be some type of going back to the past or some type of flashback.
I saw those photos, yeah.
So you might see those old figures gonna reissue or upgraded, and then plus the older version. I think it's gonna be 2 versions of it.
That's
So
gonna be
that will
awesome.
be
It'd
sweet.
be awesome.
That
Yeah.
will be sweet.
Dante, that would be sweet to get them both. I would love to reissue those. Do they redo the head sculpts at all, Dante?
For
The
what?
younger
For
ones.
if they, I don't have an Indiana Jones figure, but I think they probably gonna redo it. They're gonna make it
Yeah.
better. I mean, when was Han Solo released from A New Hope? Like how many
Oh
years
gosh,
ago?
2015.
Yep.
So we talk
2015.
about it's gonna be 7 years next year. So if you think about it, over time things has to get better, right? So I think they should revise and they should make it like much better. And for some reason, if you have the Force Awakens Han Solo Aries, and you see the Hascop is excellent. They can just put a hat Indiana Jones.
They could, and I'm going to go to Pate Strick with this because Pate Strick, every time I flash this up, and this is going to go right along with what we're talking about and how I tried to set the table here anyway. Every time I put this up, the chat goes nuts. So certainly everybody that watches our shows will buy it if no one else will. And is it possible that this will come out of left field? Because we keep talking about the one figure that's going to come out. We're not talking about this, which goes for epic dollars, the sideshow version. Let me just put it up because the chat's going to go nuts. Let me know in the chat when I put this up if this is a hard pass for everybody in the chat.
Everybody will buy this. Literally everybody
Instant
will buy
purchase.
this.
Yes.
I want
Instant-
This is
Tauntaun.
what we want.
Yes.
You said it. Now think about this, Pate Strick, because think about it when Ahsoka broke the internet, because there was a lot of chatter. Would Hot Toys do it? Would they do it? Oh my God, they gave it to us. They gave us an Ahsoka. Come on with this. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, I'd rather have this, no offense, than the Bespin Luke.
I agree.
Yeah.
Same.
I can see it. Yeah.
Especially if it's a bundle with the, you know what I mean?
Well, Anthony, go ahead. I mean, tell me
absolutely.
about the Tauntaun, because, here's the thing. I don't think that they did a whole lot with that blur. I think they're going to profit off that blur. They're putting it out there. That's why they're making it. You don't need to buy a whole lot. And I don't know. I think they can make these Tauntauns. I think they know that Star Wars fans would pay the money.
It blows my mind too, because that's the thing about Hot Toys. They don't like making creatures, they don't like making droids, and they don't like making vehicles. And it's shocking to me because maybe other than some droids, all three of those categories are the easiest things. I mean, I'm no toy engineer, but you know what I mean? In relative terms, we've been bombarded with those types of, creatures and vehicles for decades and decades, from other manufacturers. They're not that difficult to produce. And like you're saying with the blurg, that blurg was really cheap to make. I'm sure of it. It's just a little plastic toy. And we all know they don't make the best looking creatures. I mean, like if you picked up Einstein and, Marty's not that great, but it's still cool to have. And when they're gone because they don't make them often. So it's perplexing to me that they're not doing this, because people would eat this stuff up. Like, where's the Banthas for the Tusken Raiders? Like, they're gonna go. I think it's because Hot Toys tries to pride themselves on, the actor's likeness, right? They try to make these lifelike representations of the shows or the movies, etc. And creatures are not so much that, right? But I don't think they realize that there's a huge market for that. If it's it's unless someone else is gonna start making them.
Yeah,
But I think they just capitalize on it.
You're exactly right. I agree with that. And Dante, let's go to you, because if they are, and I suspect that they are, making a new head sculpt, all just for the Bespin Luke, is it possible they're just going to stop there and not reuse that head sculpt? Could this be? I mean, you see it on the chat. I mean, certainly, 135 people would buy it. What do you think?
Well, this is 1,000% a buy for me. I mean, this will be amazing, right? This one deserves an upgraded head sculpt for sure. I don't want to see the same head with different hair. I just want to see a revamp of this, right? Maybe if they're gonna give us this, maybe they can do 2 head sculpts, one with a kind of like a battle damage one when he was fighting the Wampa, like with the scratches in the face.
Yep.
Probably that would be good if you have that. This is absolutely an instant pre-order for me. I normally don't pre-order, but I will definitely do for this one.
Yeah. Desi, from an artist perspective, reusing this, and I mean, if they're gonna go ahead and give us a new head sculpt for the all the way for the Bespin Luke, you might as well give us a Hoth Luke, which maybe might sell better.
Yes, if you're gonna get it, yeah, if you're gonna get a new head sculpt for a Bespin Luke, you could use that for this, right? And this behind a fully diecast C-3PO R2D2 set, this is the set I want the most, right? This Luke on a Tauntaun, right? But also, are we going to get a new head sculpt for either a Bespin Luke or this kind of Luke? I don't know. Like, I even said no. I didn't think we were getting a new Luke head sculpt for the Mando Luke, and we did. I was wrong there. But at least that's because that was one of the most epic episodes. Everyone was talking about it. I don't know if they release a new head sculpt for a Bespin or a Hoth Luke. I hope they do, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it could go either way. I mean, I feel like Dante is right. I feel like that they have to give us a new head sculpt. I feel the vibe, but I also see what they're doing with reusing a lot of materials, and I could actually see them disguising it in the greatness of the Tauntaun and in the outfit and trying to repaint it and redoing it to save money. But brother Cousins, let's go to you. Luke and Tauntaun. Every time I bring this up, it's like when people were bringing up Ahsoka. Everyone wants this. And someone even pointed out on the panel, yelling out, this is what we want. I mean, is this what the people want?
This is definitely what the people want, and I agree. I agree with Dante and everybody on this panel. We definitely need a new head sculpt with this. I think I was looking at the Disney Plus program where they were talking about the Mandalorian, and they were talking about the scene with Mark Hamill coming in at the end, and they were saying when they were doing when they were trying to whatever software they were using, I think they used the face. I forget the name of the face stuff they were using. The deepfake technology. They said Mark Hamill's face, if you look at all the scenes of the whole original trilogy, Mark Hamill's face kind of looks different all throughout the whole thing. So we need different head sculpts because he kind of looks, we know, it's Mark Hamill, but he looks different when he's riding on a Tauntaun and Hoth than where he looks at the end of Return of the Jedi. He looks different. So yeah, please give us a different head sculpt. I think they would be doing a disservice if they don't do that and they go the whole reuse route. Now, I won't be too mad about it. I'll just be happy to have it, but I think they need to do it.
It'll be page strict conversation like Brother Cousins and Dante are saying. I think it would break the internet, but I think you're going to also, while they're doing that, they're going to get probably some talk about why they reused a head sculpt if they do that.
Yep.
And Brother Cousin was right? Because we know that Mark Hamill was in an accident right before Empire Strikes Back, and then I think that's why his face was all busted up in that scene. If I read correctly, right?
It was that's correct.
His face was still healing, and then after that, between that and Return of the Jedi, he probably got more cosmetic surgery to try to fix. So it was constantly changing. Makes it harder for Hot Toys.
Absolutely.
Well, with 135 in here, did you smash the like button yet? I'm still brewing more coffee. We keep running out of coffee tonight. That's because
I'm bone dry, man. I need a refill.
We're sending it right over to you, Mafia, right over. Or maybe you need some proper 66 or some Spotchka. Listen,
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I'll let you go. I just want to say, Andrew Gibo, thank you so much. He put the $5 bomb there, Anthony. He said Hoth Luke with the Tauntaun, then the Wampa. Take my money. Look, I'm seeing this continually, Anthony, over and over, and thank you for that, Andrew. Yeah, but go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like I was agreeing with exactly that. With those sculpts are 5, 6, 7 years old, and we all know that they keep getting better and better. So they don't want to upset customers, right? So they always want to innovate and improve. And if they go back on that, we all know how some of those are they're not that great nowadays. They're just not. And again, you know what like Brother Cousins was saying, like, do we need an MMS02, right? Back up. Like, it's like
Right.
there is just night and day difference, you know. Even some things that are like MCU stuff that's fairly recent, it's really not now. It's like 10 years old, and some of these early figures are just not what they don't hold up, man. They don't hold up in comparison to what's coming out now.
You're right, and you just brought me to the next point, though. I think, though, now let me pull this up on the screen, because you see the other guy that's here. We got more Tauntauns, everybody. And let's see if I can get a shot of just what we're going into from what Anthony said. There he is. Someone with the super chat before brought up an Empire Strikes Back Han. And you're going to come out with a Luke Hoth. You're going to come out with a Han Hoth. It's hard to get Harrison Ford in any toy company to sign off on his likeness. However, may I suggest to you guys, with a Hoth Han, you know, we do have, I'm pulling this up onto the screen. These are not bad. You got this one here. And if you can see, and I just lost it, but I'll see if I can pull it back up. If I can raise it up. There it is. That, it's not bad. And if you change the head sculpt, change the hair sculpt, excuse me, and you do some paint apps desi, or even with this one here, and I'll pull this up. Now these came out with the Lando release. Is it possible that maybe this is what we're going to get, because this is what he already approved, and it's going to be easier for him to sign off on different paint apps than a whole new sculpt?
It may be. If they're having difficulty getting approval from Harrison Ford, and they need to, right? I don't know the situation there. If they just need Disney's approval, they need Harrison Ford's, especially now. They might just go with an older one if they already have an approval. And these last two ones that you showed on the screen, you know, the smirk and the regular neutral expression, they're pretty good. I don't have them in hand, so I can't speak too well on them. But in pictures, they look pretty good. I know they're 5 or 6 years old, but they're not. You can tell it's Harrison Ford, right? At least that's my opinion.
I got them both. You're right, and they are Desi. I think they're both really good. When you really get them in hand, like I was really just scoping out the Smirk head sculpt and the New Hope head sculpt the other day, like under a light. And I was like, oh my God, they are so good. So Anthony, let's bounce back to you. When it comes to Harrison Ford, do we get I feel like some collectors would be okay because they just want a Han. And I think that there is a understanding that it might be difficult to get a new one of him.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, to your point that a lot of collectors just want a Han Solo. Right. So if this is, for example, if this is what comes out, people are going to pick it up just for that, you know, because they can't afford or find, you know, the Stormtrooper disguise or New Hope, you know. So and it is, he's very, you know, it's just how much money is Disney going to throw at him. And even if that's the case, you know, that would be an Indiana Jones situation. So I don't know how it's going to work with Hot Toys and the likeness rights. Like, I don't know where they go. Do they go directly to him? Do they work something through Disney and they go through him? I just know it's very difficult, and it's going to have to be like a boatload of money for him to sign off on things. So it's unfortunate, but I think just kind of like how the Luke situation is, you can have multiple Han Solos, and I think every variation of him would sell.
Yeah, I agree. Page
Period.
Strick, let's go to you on a Han Solo. You okay if they reuse the head sculpts that they already have and change the paint, the hair?
I think the one that they have, it looks okay. They'll obviously make changes to it, but they'll make it better. They'll do it correctly. Now, one thing I've been thinking though, listening to the conversation, is if they give us a Hoth Han with the big jacket, this may be how we get our Empire Strikes Back Han Solo. Because remember what they did with the Solo Deluxe, where it was Han Solo, but they gave us the big jacket as well. They may do that again with the Hoth Han. It's just a potential theory.
That's true. That's a good point.
sense.
It's kind of like the Luke, the Return of the Jedi Deluxe.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, you can have them Endor style or just, you know, end of the movie. You know what I mean? So that's a very good point.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point there. Dante, let's go to you on that from reviewing a figure. Would you like a multi-versatile one like that? You okay with the head sculpt if they reuse the two previous Hans? Are we going to get another Han? Because we're going to, you would think because they're redoing the Indiana Jones one, probably that they would get him to do it. But from what I heard, he's got to approve each and every figure, so it's not so easy.
Yeah, and taking into account that he is a bit difficult with those type of approvals, right? And the fact is that the New Hope Han Solo Hellscope is actually pretty good. So it's not like it's not like a Tony Stank one. So I don't mind. Probably it could be enhanced in the paint application, maybe a bit better, just to kind of again more in today's era. So I think they can definitely repaint it and make a much better look. So probably if they're gonna do another Han Solo version, I don't think they're gonna do a brand new redesigned Haskell. They're probably gonna use the same one from A New Hope or the same one from The Force Awakens, just so it's much easier because he approved it already. Well, he will be giving so much hard time to people, and the community is asking for Han Solo. They want the best in hand so much, including myself and pretty much everyone. So they're dragging it, and they need to pretty much do something about it.
Yeah, and brother cousins, I think what Dante said is right there. Barrett saying, "I'll take any Han at this point." LOL. I mean, are you okay if they reuse one of the two head sculpts?
Yeah, I'm with Barrett on that. I'll take Han any way I could get him if I can get that one. And I think Paystrick hit it right on the head. That's the best way to do it. Giving us the big Hoth coat and then having him, giving us the regular coat that he had. That would be a great way to get it. And updated a paint sculpt like something light because those head sculpts are really good. They are really good. I mean, they really hold up. They did a good job with those. So I wouldn't be mad if they reused either one of them, personally.
No, I wouldn't be either. I mean, when you compare the A New Hope Luke and the New Hope Luke Stormtrooper to the A New Hope Hans, I feel like both of the Hans are superior. I have the Luke. The Luke is good.
Yeah.
It is really good. But I feel like that one was lackluster. But I feel like the Hans are actually pretty good. Like, even if they came out with it today, I'd be okay.
Absolutely.
Especially the Smirk one. I mean, it looks good.
Yeah, I got the Smirk one on the New Hope. I swapped it out. In fact, my New Hope is sitting in a Ziploc bag. I don't even use the head sculpt, just because I put the Stormtrooper head, the one on New Hope, and you're right. They're both. They could come out today, and I don't think I personally wouldn't have a problem with them because they're that good. They really hold up.
Well, let me bring this up on the screen, Anthony, and let me go to you since you were just chiming in on that, because I've got a funny feeling about this. And they've given us a lot of Endor stuff. I'm just saying. A lot of Endor stuff. We've got Wicket, we got Leia, we got Luke, we got the biker, the scout trooper that just came out. I mean, really, one of the big missing pieces here is Han. Could they? I mean, obviously, we'd want a Hoth Han. We'd want the Bespin Han. Could they bypass both of those first and just give us an Endor Han to go with all the other Endor releases?
Yeah, 100%. Because Hot Toys just sometimes has no rhyme or reason. They just put things out like Spider-Gwen came out and we got video game Miles. It's like, okay, yeah, that's weird. And so they do weird things like that. And you're right. We have, that would look so sweet. They can just do a Han and Chewie 2-pack again, or individual sell them, put them under Return of the Jedi label. And honestly, you're done. You're done. You have other than, we don't have, a C-3PO or anything yet, but that's all Return of the Jedi right there. I mean, hell, we've got the Imperial Guards. We've got Palpatine with this chair. I mean, we have pretty much everything for Return of the Jedi already. So I could see him skipping Empire and going straight to a new, to a Return of the Jedi, and then you have, this would be complete right there, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. Dante.
If it's going to happen, I don't know.
Yeah, I have a funny feeling, Dante. I have a hunch we're going to get a Han and Chewbacca 2-pack again. And we got one with Force Awakens. Obviously, we got one and a reissue with the A New Hope. Is it possible we actually get a Han and Chewie here from Return of the Jedi?
It is possible. At this point, anything is possible. Maybe they do both versions. Maybe they just do 1 2-pack, one single release, probably, right? They have what they need. So it's not like they just reinventing the wheel here. They pretty much have everything they need. New clothing, put it, in the packaging, and that's it. This is one of those figures that we always argue that this is long overdue, and we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Even the guy behind it, the little guy, I mean, not the little guy, but the golden guy in the back, looking at everyone, is like, what the hell? You guys are doing everything but me and Han and Chewie. What's going on? It is a matter of time, I think. We definitely, we're gonna see a release of these guys in some sort. Has to be.
Desi, your opinion on this 2-pack? I don't know. I just have a strong feeling that we're going to get a 2-pack Han and Chewie.
40th anniversary in 2023.
Yeah.
If you're going to release it, that's
Return of the Jedi.
That's a great 2-pack, right? Most of it is maybe not a reissue, but a variant. That's what I always like to see, right? You're using, we were just talking about it, the same head sculpt for Han. Maybe some new clothing, right? That would be new, right? But that's not a new mold. And then Chewbacca, it's the same one. Just release the same one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brother
Problem is,
Cousins. Go ahead, Anthony.
I was just saying, do they announce it next year to fall into 2023, or do they announce it in 2023 and have it fall in like?
I don't know how that goes. I was just thinking that. I don't know what the requirements are for Hasbro. Like, oh, you can't announce anything 40th anniversary in 2022 yet. I don't know if there's even
It's
those
weird.
rules even exist, but.
Because if so, we're boned for like 3.5 years, man. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a long way.
True.
Brother Cousins.
Yep.
OT stuff.
Yeah, we're going to get it. We're going to get it, but it's going to be at the weirdest time because that is just Hot Toys MO at this point. it's not going to make any sense, but we're going to get it. And I believe soon. I do believe soon. I think next year we're going to see a lot of stuff, and it's going to be all come at once. And we're going to be losing our minds with pre-orders. But it's like I said, it's going to be when we least expect it, and when it's like when it doesn't even make sense.
All right, Brother Cousins, I'm going to stay with you. We're going to have some more fun here. I'm going to pull this up on the screen. All right, and what I'm going to pull up is Brie Larson. Now, so you got a few here. You got 3 Captain Marvels on here, okay, which is nowhere near the Spider-Mans. You got more of her than you have Luke, but you have Captain Marvel up here, okay? Right. So let me bring this up on you and get your opinion, because I want to point something out, and I'm going to go through each one, and hopefully this will load fast to get to my point. They came out with this, and they sold out, and it's so hard to get without spending a small fortune within the secondary market. Let me go to the next one. Has just breached the $300 tier range and is gone. And you can see here, gone. Let me go to the next one. And pulling this up onto the screen here. And this is some other breaking news that I'll break later this week. If it loads. This has just breached the $300 tier range.
Wow, it is.
And this is sold out. And let me pull up the next one. You got one more here. Sold out. So let me ask you a question. This is, except for the A New Hope one, these are all the same head sculpt, which nobody cares about because it's dynamite.
Yes.
I mean, this is, we talk about the Alec Guinness head sculpt. We talk about Tarkin. We talk about Krennic. I actually think this rivals it. But let me bring this up on the screen because they just keep selling these out. They have no problem selling these. And I don't think we're getting a reissue. No. What I think we're going to get is what you're looking at here, talking about reusing parts. They have already teased it in a way because you got this with the Lando picture, and I haven't heard a lot of talk about it or any.
Right.
Look, this is Leia Bespin, but Bespin escape.
Yeah.
And is it possible that this year, and I really feel that this is coming, that we are going to go ahead and actually get this?
I say yes. Absolutely. 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 I don't know what it is with Carrie Fisher. She sells. She's a big seller. She sells. And you're right. The head sculpt, they really didn't. It's this practically the same sculpt every time around, but just the costumes, just the change of the hair and everything, she sells. So I would say, yeah, absolutely, we're getting this, and this is going to be soon. And it's funny, I have the Lando figure, looked at the box a couple times, did a review on it, and I didn't even catch that. That is so funny. I didn't catch that until you said that. Yeah. So absolutely, yeah, we're definitely gonna get this.
And Desi, going to you, it kind of blew me away, really thinking about this. And I looked at myself as a collector, and I think I'm a pretty smart and savvy collector, but I can't resist any of the Leias. I've got all the Leias, okay? And 3 of them are the same head sculpt. And until we stop buying them, like we stop buying clones or we stop buying Tamora Morrison head sculpts, if they want me to buy another Leia, they're going to come out with this because I'm going to buy it. And then people that don't have a Leia, that don't want to spend buku bucks, are probably going to be fine with this Bespin Escape Leia. And what figure does this still go with? The one that they're trying to sell the Lando. What say you?
This is an easy kit bash for Hot Toys. It's like, we've got this figure, we've got this head, a new MMS number, right? And people who it's not just for the people who don't have Hoth or Bespin Leia. It's for the people that already have those. It's like, here's another variant that you don't have, right? Now you can display this one with Lando and all the other ones. So it's a great idea. They just, as I always say, they just need to make time for it in their production run. If they could do that, it sells.
Dante, what do you think on this?
I was listening to you guys, and yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they have the body, they have the head sculpt. That's all they need. Boom, that's it. So I can see that happening more, like, faster than actually like a Bespin look, Bespin Han, because they have everything already in place. Plus, I agree with what I think it was Jay that said that anything Leia will sell as well. I mean, she's a really cool character. No matter what variations you're gonna give it to us, we're gonna get this figure. So yeah, this is very, very possible.
And Dante, let's stay with you, the maestro. You do a lot of the reviews. Is it possible that they already teased this, in your opinion, and maybe some of us missed it, by just putting it right in a picture like this? Like, hey, it's going to come.
Well, it could be mine as well that they just kind of swap in head sculpts like what they did with Han Solo, with the smirk. So maybe that's what they did, just to kind of give that look. So not necessarily means that it's gonna happen, but now that you think about it, it could. So, at this point, anything is possible, and there's always a market for every variation of a figure that you release. Always going to be someone who's going to buy it, for sure, no matter the quantity.
Absolutely. And Page Strick, I think Dante's onto something there. And when we're talking about being able to reuse stuff that you already have and stuff that they already know that sells with all the Leias I just put up, what do you think?
Well, this is easy. So they're giving us these 40th anniversary boxes, right? They're not going to stop using this. They're going to want to extend this line as long as they can. So they reissued Darth Vader and Boba Fett with this box. They'll do the same thing with Luke. Then they want to go out strong with this line. They're going to announce this figure, and she's going to come in the box. And then we're going to get that deluxe Han Solo in these special edition boxes as well. And I think that's how they'll do that.
Anthony, talk to me about this. Very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, quite simply, Leia is like the be all end all, man. She's the GOAT, man. It's Princess Leia, man. I think she's even more popular than Luke, man. Dare I say it? I mean, think about a lot of people, especially us in the the older generation, man. Like, it's Princess Leia, dude. It's not gonna. It's you saw it. You showed everybody. Every single Leia sells out, quick. I mean, because I remember I missed out on that Bespin Leia. She wasn't up for a whole long time, and I was kind of just sitting there for a minute debating, and then she was gone. I'm like, oh man, because I don't have her and I don't have the Hoth one. I do have New Hope and I do have the Endor 2-pack. So again, she comes out great for people who don't have her and great for everybody who does have her. Because I don't think anybody on this panel would skip buying another Leia.
No,
to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And they're not even done there. And real quick before we continue, Lane, I got a private message, Lane Kramer, that I may have missed your super chat, but I thought I put it up. But if I did, let me know in the chat and then just tell me your question and I'll put it up there, Lane. But I thought I did catch it. But anyway, if you're still listening, Lane, let me know. But Anthony, I think you're right. And Dante, is it possible that we don't even stop really with the Bespin escape Leia? Because we were talking about Return of the Jedi, and you have the scene where she came in to rescue Han from Carbonite, where she had on the bounty hunter outfit. And who knows if that costume or that outfit even comes into place in the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, we can probably get a couple of more reiterations of Leia before they reissue anything.
Slave Leia.
There's a third party one.
There is a third party out there.
That one with Java the Hutt.
I wish.
That's it. Can you imagine? Like they do like a Hot Toys Java the Hutt with a Slave Leia 2-pack.
I think Hot Toys would do it. I don't think Disney would let them do it.
No, they
DX,
wouldn't.
like a DX version, Everyone will be broke.
That's why I got the NYC statue coming. That's the only way we're gonna get that one.
Yeah, it would sell out before, you know what I mean? Before it even goes. Before it's on sale, it'll sell out.
Yeah, I would. I mean, God, wow. I mean,
I would get that before
would that
the
be?
Mando
Let me ask you,
2-pack.
brother,
Yeah.
guys. Just free for all discussion for this segment about Slave Leia. Would that Leia with that head sculpt outsell all the other Leias?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest. I've got the third party one on pre-order. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks good.
It
It
does.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you want to have the official box that says Leia, Star
Absolutely.
Wars, official,
Yeah.
I love third party figures, don't make me wrong. But certain figures like that, you want to see I'm not going to say the masters, but you want to see the people who are putting their time to do this, official,
Well, for sure, an
Um,
official thing would be great. But
right? But hey, third party figures, I'm telling you, man, some of them are really good. Like if you put Hot
Exactly.
Toys over there, you're gonna be like, you will know. If people don't know the brands and you say, oh, these are Hot Toys figures, they're gonna be like, oh wow, very good quality, but it's a third party. They've been stepping up their game so much lately, and it's really hard sometimes to even tell. But going back to the Slave Leia, that will knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Maestro. James Cosgrove with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, James. Let's read it. Aries, I love the show, and I'm drinking coffee. Hey, I'm brewing more, so to get filled up, I will fill you up even more. Is it possible Hot Toys will release a Jedi Leia figure from The Rise of Skywalker?
Ooh.
What about Leia Yavin Ceremony? Well, let me answer that, and we'll go to the panel. As far as Yavin Ceremony, yes, that will be another one. And I say yes. Until we stop buying Leias, that's going to come. The Rise of Skywalker? Look, the Rise of Skywalker Leia is actually trending up. So is the Luke, especially the crate Luke. And the Force Awakens Luke. Even the hobo Luke is starting to move up. The Harrison Ford one is moving up from the Force Awakens. I don't think another Leia from there, or even a Lando Calrissian, is out of the question forever. It's going to really depend on what Favreau and Filoni do and what Disney does. Especially, I put a lot of faith into Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. And I think it's possible. I think it's way more possible you're going to get the Yavin Ceremony. But as far as ruling those out, no. I don't rule it out. Desi, your opinion on that with this chat?
We got Bespin Leia. Like, I know Empire Strikes Back is one of the, everyone's favorite movies. It's my favorite Star Wars movie. But it was Bespin Leia is basically, hey, if you're going to call something a doll, that's a doll, right? It's just her in a dress.
Right. Not even
if
a
they
gun.
release-
Doesn't come with a gun.
Right? If they release that one, then you have chances of them releasing the ceremony version of it. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Page Strick?
Yeah, I agree. Because eventually they know this sells, and eventually they'll run out of characters that they can make. Like there's only so many versions they can make, and then they're gonna start pooling, and then maybe we can make this. If people bought this, they'll buy this, and then they'll play their cards until they'll eventually make them all. They will.
Yeah, I think so. Anthony?
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. I mean, again, it's Leia. It's another variation. It's original trilogy. You're checking all the boxes. You want to talk about, what sells. If all those boxes are checked, that's an instant sellout. It's always going to happen. Original trilogy will never not sell. So just pump them out. Like Patrick's saying. They'll come. Just a matter of time.
Yeah. Dante?
Yeah, but before I said that, he's also asking about the possibility of seeing a Jedi Leia from the Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
I would buy that one.
I'm thinking about it. It was a flashback, so they can easily reuse the Empire Strikes Back, no, Empire Strikes Back. The Hoth Leia. They can reuse that.
Yeah. Well, that's still. Yeah, you're right. They can reuse any of those.
Or the the Return of the Jedi one.
Mhm.
Said, look, they can actually do a 2-pack if they want. It's kind of like an OT figures.
That'd be another Luke too. Yeah.
Another Luke
Yeah.
with a helmet. I mean, you have right there. I guarantee you that will sell 100%.
And they've
People
already
will-
got the helmet as well with Rey.
Right. They have the helmets. They have pretty much everything ready. I can actually see that happening. Maybe more chances for this to happen, like either a Jedi Leia or Jedi Luke combined, both 2-pack, whatever, than actually a dark side Rey.
Yeah, I think I hear what you're saying.
Because it's OG characters.
Exactly. Right.
And-
It's OT characters.
And Dante, staying with you real quick, is it possible then? Because I know where you're going with this, because those are kind of like CGI. You're talking about deepfakes with those two scenes.
Yep.
What about the Rogue One ending with Princess Leia? That's a way to reissue the A New Hope one. Maybe a couple of differences in there. Come on.
Right.
Yep.
Same thing we can argue about Tarkin. They can do a Rogue One Tarkin.
Yep.
Or a Bad
CGI, or Bad Batch, yes. So they have the options. It's not like I had to see. It's like, oh, what should we do now? Like, dude, you have a lot of options, man. Like, listen to us, Howard Chen.
Fit
One
in.
original
Fit in.
trilogy.
Desi, we're going to go with you with this. I'm going to set the table again. I love setting the table here. This is going to be a lot of fun. Refilling everybody on their coffee. It's empty.
Hey, he's drinking blue milk.
Still empty.
Oh, look what I got up on here. Okay, so listen, Desi, here's my point. Venom. They knew not everybody was going to buy Venom, but they made Venom anyway. Kind of a theme here today. And now Venom is gone. Okay?
Mhm.
Let's go to the next one I'm going to show you here. They made this, and for whatever reason, this is a limited run. They knew not everybody was going to buy it, but this is going to be gone. And they don't care that not everybody's going to buy as many of this as the best car Mandalorian. They made it anyway. And the same thing with this figure, Desi, as I pull this up onto the screen. They know not everybody's going to buy this, but they made it anyway. So is it possible that they're going to give us something like this, which is not exactly capturing someone's likeness, like the Tusken Raider, but it will require hand painting like this Tusken Raider does? Is it possible that we actually get this? Which, remember, both Gamorrean guards had a fight scene in the
In Mando.
opening episode of The Mandalorian Season 2, and of course they're in Return of the Jedi. Would they sell 2,000, 3,000 of Gamorrean guard?
I'm surprised they haven't already announced this, really, because if you think about it and say, well, this isn't a main character, it's like, well, we've got a Tusken Raider, we've got a Blurg. Like, Like, it's cool, but even I don't want a Blurg, even though it's great. I want one of these guys. He was in Mando, he was in the original trilogy. Like, how have they not, this is one of those weird figures. It was like, hey, why not? I know it's a new body, right? But again, Blurg, right? So come on.
Yeah, I think this would be great, and for Hot Toys to make some aliens like Bosk. I mean, one thing about the Tusken Raider, and I don't think a whole lot of people were aware, but when you read the fine print, each one of the head sculpts are hand painted, individually hand painted. So it goes through that 12-week process, Desi.
Yep.
And let's go to you, Page Strick. I mean, with something like the Gamorrean God, is this possible? Why or why not?
Yes, because you can pose it with your Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi, or you can pose it with your Mandalorian figures. It's one of those things that you can do different stuff with it, and you'll have people buy it just so they can recreate scenes from the original trilogy and the Mandalorian. I personally would buy 2 of these.
I think a lot of people would buy 2 of them, Anthony.
Yeah, no, I agree. But again, it goes back to what I was saying. They Hot Toys doesn't like doing stuff like this, and it's unfortunate because things would sell like everything else that comes out. There's a market for everybody, and it's really weird because if you guys remember, the sideshow of old would make everything Star Wars, and that's one thing I enjoyed about them at the time, because all the obscure stuff sideshow made, and those are things that are very hard to buy nowadays, and they still go for a pretty penny. So you'd think, yeah, you would think Hot Toys would kind of look on that and be like, okay, well, we can do that, and we can do it arguably better, and people would buy it,
for example.
And is it possible, Anthony, that with some of the trends we're seeing now, like the Tusken Raider, the Lando, the Venom, we're seeing a lot of these quick releases and low production runs, but a lot more figures, that we're going to get more stuff like this, because especially where it doesn't even require a human head sculpt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that's the case, but just, to kind of roll backward a little bit on that, as far as like with what's going on, like with Venom, I think the reason why a lot of this stuff is either not being made or, is being made, but is kind of sitting for a while, is because it's not very relevant. And I don't mean that in any, bad way, because we would all buy it, but, Venom is a movie, like right now, that's happening, just like Mandalorians right now is happening. So, there's a hardcore collectors like us, and arguably most people who are watching, but then there's a whole world of like normies out there worldwide that are just like, oh, this is the new show that I'm really, really into. Oh, wow, look, they just made this figure. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if they made another Terminator, yeah, he'd sell, but only to like a specific demographic, because it's not very relevant to like current times. So
yeah, but
it's hard.
It's hard to determine. And let's go to you, brother Cousins, from there. He brings up a good point.
Yeah.
I really do feel, though, that for them to be able to make money nowadays, there's only so many Iron Mans you could have in stock, the 25 I showed you, or on pre-order, the 17 Spider-Mans. But they're going to be hitting, and I suspect with a lot of these figures, like the Tusken Raider, the Lando, they're going to hit waitlist, in my opinion. I've given alerts on them quicker than people think, because I don't believe that they made like that Tusken Raider, like they did those 501st or even the Incinerator Trooper. It was so low by the Jet Troopers. I think they made so little of them, it's going to be gone. And I think that they're going to go ahead, possibly, and create some of these figures that are just not going to have a lot of production runs. So let me pull this up on the screen. If you could tell me, your opinion on the Gamorrean Guard, which they can tag as Mandalorian, but like the Tusken Raider, could be an original trilogy, or they're coming out with Cobb Vanth. Why not come out with a character that's been in 2 episodes and give us Mayfield?
Life's complete, man. Bill Burr.
Yeah. I can definitely see them doing this. And they're once again, I put this in the Toy Fair exclusive category.
Yes.
And I know what Desi was saying, that most of those, when we get those figures, kind of like the Armorer, we don't get head sculpts. And like this figure and like Cobb Vanth, they require two head sculpts, you know, because I mean, this character right here, we all know was Bill Burr, and like I said, I'm a big fan of Bill Burr, and I just want that. I love that Bill Burr figure.
Man.
Love it.
But even with the story going back to Cobb Vanth, you kind of have to have a head sculpt with that character to finish telling the story, because that's not Boba Fett. So you definitely need that. You definitely gonna need that Timothy Oliphant head. So I see them doing this. I don't know. It's gonna be hard. And then going back to the guard villains, we all know Hot Toys has a problem with doing villains. They do. I mean, they do a lot of Star Wars villains. You got Krennic, you got Grand Moff Tarkin. You get a lot, but
and you haven't got a lot of aliens either.
But yeah, aliens, like Anthony was saying, aliens and, you know, the monsters and the creatures, they don't do a lot of, and that's crazy, because that's what Star Wars is. Star Wars is creatures. That's the thing, is creatures and vehicles. That's what it is, and hopefully they'll get there. Hopefully they will get that at some point, but I just don't know if we're going to see that anytime soon.
And Tante, let's go to you. Remember, we were talking about Quill. This is going back, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and you know, rightfully so. A lot of us were skeptical on that, but they came out with Quill, and the argument was, well, that's passe. It's already season 1. Well, they came out with it. He's in season 1, which was a great episode. I call it the Bullies episode. I love it. And then you got him. It was really great in whatever that was, episode 7, I believe, of season 2. It was funny. And they already have this trooper outfit. So if Bill Burr, could be easy to work with to get a head sculpt, I mean, they have the rest of it done. I don't know. I mean, this is something that it wouldn't shock me, because, you know, we've gotten Quill, we've gotten this, we've gotten that. They're teasing all these Mandalorian figures. This guy's been in both seasons.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now, the Transport Trooper is probably going to be out very soon. So once that's out, this guy is going to be out. And not only this guy, I have a feeling that we're going to see the same outfit, but with Din Djarin's head sculpt as well. So that will be the magnet right there. So you're going to have this one like this, and then with the Din Djarin's head sculpt. 100%.
That is a great call.
They have to. They have to. There's no, whether it's going to be in the next few months, next year, sometime next year, this is a money maker for them. I mean, they can easily do this, both releases. You can have that scene right there. When they were talking in the car, when they went like talking with a guard in the little whatever they were, right?
Yeah.
So absolutely, yes, they can definitely do this. Not as exclusive though, because again, anything, and I've noticed this kind of like more like a pattern. If you see what they released this year for the exclusive ones, for the summer showcase ones, nothing had a head sculpt, I think. I don't remember. Right. So if we're gonna continue that pattern, I don't think we're gonna see something with a head sculpt unless it's a reissue of something. Like, for example, like Dark Side Anakin, for example, right? It was more like a reissue repaint, right?
Yeah.
They can do that. But if they're gonna do something like this, totally new, it has to be a trooper, it has to be a Spider-Man figure, has to be something like that. But definitely I can see this guy coming.
All right, so let me put you on the spot. Is this gonna come either this year or next year? Yes or no? I'll give you the whole year next year.
I would probably say Q1 next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would tend to agree with you. I think this is coming. Desi, give me your thoughts. I'm
really biased on this one because I love Bill Burr. This was my favorite episode. Episode 7 of season 2 is my favorite episode of The Mandalorian, both seasons. I love this character. So I hope we get him. Will we? If we don't, I'm definitely printing out a custom head sculpt, doing my own kit bash. But what's really easy, what Dante was just mentioning, right? As an exclusive, we don't see a lot of head sculpts, I would agree. But an easy exclusive somewhere down the line next year would be the Din Djarin head sculpt that's going to come out with the chrome-plated one. Put that on this guy. You got an exclusive there.
No.
So
page trick.
I think they just released the Black Series for him. They just announced that as well.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did, or they showed it or something. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they'll definitely capitalize off of this. Like everyone here was saying, Bill Burr is very popular. very famous. So a lot of people will buy that just because it's him. And he also was in 2 very good episodes as well. So I think Hot Toys will be like, yeah, we'll make that.
I agree.
Anthony, thoughts?
Well, I mean, I agree mostly, but I don't think they would do it as a transport trooper. Cause I mean, like you guys would think, right? Okay, well, they already have it, you know, the body. I feel like what they should do, if I was working there, is I would make him, but I'd make him in his like first kind of appearance, or you know,
agree.
without the transport armor, because then that's going to increase the sales on these otherwise obscure troopers, and the same thing with our new Mando coming with the head sculpt, because then you could order a couple transport troopers, pop those helmets off, some, you know, and just put head sculpts on from each one, and they have helmet. You know what? That's what I think they should do.
Yeah.
If they make it compatible, though, that's another thing, because you know
That's
that
true.
what
Good
Hatos
point.
does, right? They give you some little things over
Yeah,
there, so you
sometimes
cannot. They're sneaky, so they,
Yep.
they know what we want, and to your point, Anthony, I think it's a very, very good point. But also, I think that they might do both versions, with the transport trooper and how we've seen it originally, right? With his normal outfit, if you will. So I think they might do probably both, because it's a good character. I love that. That was my
Well,
favorite.
amazing, yeah.
One of my favorite episodes of the show. So
And the reason I only say that typically, you know, because you're right for the most part with what they do with that, with you making things like not very compatible, but because like we've all mentioned, Bill Burr's very popular. It makes more sense to me to have him in more like civilian style clothing for a lot of people that may just want a Bill Burr figure, and then they're like, "What the hell's all this armor on it?" You know what I mean? And then we can always swap them out if
Yep.
you know, of course,
Yep.
they make it compatible. So
yeah, that's a good point too. But again,
I think
all
he's
depends on Hot
coming.
Toys' sneakiness.
I know, right? We never know.
You never
and they
know.
might just put out both, like you're saying. I mean,
That would be great. I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
will definitely. I mean, there's a market for it for sure. 100%. It will sell.
100%.
Dante, staying with you. You said there's sneakiness.
I don't know if it's a word, but it's sneakiness.
Sneakiness. Look, I like it. Is it possible? And you're gonna answer, you know, yes or no, and why not. I'm gonna make you do that.
Yes.
But I'm gonna stay with you. Is it possible?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's a Mandalorian figure, man. Anything
Absolutely,
Mandalorian
absolutely.
will sell.
And a main character.
They can put a box with a Mandalorian, it will sell with nothing in it. It will sell. And this is a cool character too, you know.
Oh yeah.
Now, can they do is that Cara Dune?
Yep.
Aries, I'm gonna put you on the spot now.
I want a 2-pack.
It's impossible.
great, yeah.
So we're gonna see Cara Dune? Yes or no?
Only if they bring the actress back. If Disney brings the actress back, and I say, then I say yes. If they don't bring her back, then I say no. That's my answer.
But we're in talks about it. I think I heard somebody saying that they're talking to
rumors,
her kind of to bring her back, because I guess she was too popular.
Yeah.
And
If they
despite
bring her
whatever she writes on Twitter, who
And
cares?
then I
Yeah.
also heard something that they were thinking of bringing Cara Dune back, but she would be played by Lucy Lawless. So I don't know.
Yeah, but that was she
true.
came out on that and was like, nah.
That was a rumor. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. She's a good actress, but
Yeah, she's awesome.
Cara Dune killed it in that show.
yeah.
The actress
Yeah.
killed it in that
Yep.
with that character. So
Absolutely.
I think it would be a smart move to bring her back and say, hey, listen, we're gonna bring you back, but no crap on Instagram, no crap on you on Twitter. Just do your work and that's it.
Yeah, it's the same
But
thing
still
that happened with
stupid,
James Gunn. You know,
Mhm.
there was some outrage stuff, and then it died down, and they brought him back. You know what I mean? So, I think she'd be great to come back, and that is a figure that would 100% sell out.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
and
Yeah.
then we can talk about this character over here,
Well,
right?
listen, they gave us Quill. And look, this is another prominent character that's been in both seasons. So, yeah, then we could talk about this guy. But I do think that this guy's coming. I mean, I'm actually surprised, Pete Strick, that we didn't get this yet.
I agree with you on that. I mean, he had such an impact on season 1 at the ending, And he having him come back in season 2, and I know he'll be back in season 3. It's just a cool character. And I mean, it's Carl Weathers. Who doesn't love Carl Weathers?
Yep.
And I think that they would really sell a lot of these personally.
Yeah, brother cousins.
Absolutely. Yep. Take my money. I want this figure. And I'm serious. If they do bring Cara Dune back, I think that would be a 2-pack that would just sell. That would sell.
Oh, a 2-pack of this?
Yes,
Absolutely.
that would be the two of them together. You gotta have the both of them together, and that would be.
Indeed.
And you know what? And throw in Mickey Mouse, throw in Star Wars Mickey Mouse, throw in Baby Yoda in there, and it's done. Sold. Take my money. Here's
Throw
my
an egg
wallet.
in it.
Take it.
Like a frog egg. Sort of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well then, Dante, you mentioned frog eggs. Okay, so I got to put you on the spot. Dante and I are putting each other on the spot. Is it possible? Yes or no? And why or why not?
Oh, here we go.
Absolutely yes.
Ooh, an absolutely yes. Talk to me, baby.
Well, this I can see this one as an exclusive
Yep.
Yes,
because it's just it's not like a human head sculpt. It's just a creature. So yeah, I mean maybe not in a lot of quantities, but hey, exclusive few numbers of this. There's a lot of people that love to. Well, me, I'm one of them that I want to get every figure of the Mandalorian line, all of them, no matter what it is. If it's an egg, if it's like an accessory, I'm gonna get that because that's what I want to do myself. So absolutely, man, why not?
I don't think it's for it's like I look at the chat. Some people love the frog. We need the frog lady. Some people like no frog. So I don't think it's like Hoth Luke. But again, it's kind of like that Tusken Raider Desi. You don't need everybody to buy the Tusken Raider. You don't need everybody to buy the Venom. You don't need everybody to buy the Lando. You just need a certain amount of people. With how popular the Mandalorian is, and this character was on 2 shows, shoot, they could actually put her husband as a 2-pack because he was in the 3rd episode. And they watched Grogu. So you can get this, her husband, Grogu, the egg thing here, and all the other, the baby, frog.
Yeah. I truly think we'll eventually get most of these characters, including Carl Weathers. And if you're talking about the Frog Lady, how can you not have Carl Weathers? And again, we've got,
Exactly.
I'll take Carl Weathers before the Frog Lady, but I'll take the Frog Lady too. And we've got Quill. And again, sorry guys, I go back to the blurg. We've got a blurg, right? And yes, I'm sure we've got the eggs already. They're going to release the egg canister with one of the little Grogu accessory
right.
kits.
Good point.
Right.
Mhm.
Wow.
So
that's right.
Yeah.
They're already at 50% of the figure.
Anthony Frog, I know that you didn't think much about the Gaborian Guard and some of these creatures, but is it possible, like what they're doing differently now, plus the Mandalorian's hot, they'll probably sell a few thousand of these, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, everything's possible. I mean, it would be great for them to do it, but it's such an obscure outlet. That whole episode was just very different, right? But they would still, it would still sell though. That's the weird thing, right? It's just this little frog creature, but it's associated with Grogu, and that's the new mouse. And if anybody has their love for Mandalorian, it's just another piece of the puzzle that they can fit in their display. So I mean, yeah, it would go, but I don't know where they draw the line, Hot Toys, with trying to have likeness of, actors and whatnots, and why they're so apprehensive about putting out. I mean, Quill I get because there's a face to it,
Yeah.
So it's difficult. It's very, I would love it, but I just don't see it happening though.
Wait, guys! I'm getting a phone call from the Hot Toys Wizard
Here we go.
on
happening.
Halloween Eve. I'm getting a phone call. Let me pick this up. Sorry about that, Wizard. What's going on? You sound like Carl Weathers. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes, I love the Rocky movies. Yes, we just talked about that. Absolutely, we're getting a Grief Karga figure. Are you kidding me? Are you sure? But what about a Hot Toys then? What about a Hot Toy Wizard? Okay, so I just got information from the Hot Toys Wizard, but it wasn't a Hot Toy news. But the Hot Toys wizard just gave me information that a certain character is 1,000%. He looked into his Palantir, he said, is going to be in this upcoming show. So let me pull this up on the screen because I wonder then what you guys think about this.
Oh yes.
Wow. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Brother Cousins, the Hot Toys wizard said Cad Bane is definitely in there. One of the mentors, like with Aura Singh and of course Django and a little bit of Bosk. I really do think personally that Cad Bane, look, and also let's not forget, we talked about Cobb Vanth and the Marshal. They named that episode 1 of the Mandalorian season 2, the Marshal, how the whole Western look.
Yep.
Everything about the Mandalorian is kind of like a Western. Boba,
right.
Come on, this guy fits right in, baby.
Yes. If he's on the show, we're definitely getting it. People want this figure. I mean, before even the rumors of him being on a Mandalorian, people want this figure. So yeah, we're definitely getting it. I mean, this show is going to be so filled with so many bounty hunters and stuff. Oh man, yeah, definitely going to get it.
Pate Strick, if there ever was a character that fits into what Favreau and Filoni are looking to do with the whole Western, that's why they got Timothy Oliphant to play Cobb Vanth, and I believe he's going to be in the Book of Boba Fett. Come on, in the history here with Cad Bane, is there any way that Favreau and Filoni are not putting in Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett?
Well, they brought him back in the Bad Batch, and they implicated that he'd survived the duel with Boba Fett, which is a deleted scene. So that just, and the fact that we didn't see the duel with Boba Fett in the Bad Batch just says that, I'm going to call it right now, they're going to have Daniel Logan come back and play a young Boba Fett, and we'll see that duel. That's definitely what they're going to do. And I'm okay with that because that means more figures.
Oh, boy. Dante, Cad Bane.
It's never going to happen. I'm just kidding. Of course. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, absolutely, yes. I think this is a figure that they have to do it because they have to do it. When the question is, when will this happen? I think all these characters that we're talking about is going to happen after the Book of Boba Fett is released. So probably Q1 next year, we're going to start seeing a bunch of characters dropping. And remember, also keep in mind that besides Cad Bane, Boba Fett is going to have different outfits throughout the show, different armors, different colors. So that's another thing too. You want to see how he looks. Will he look awesome without the helmet? All those things. So, oh yeah, absolutely yes, 100%.
Yeah, Anthony. I mean, he fits right in with the whole mojo of the whole Western thing that they're doing. It's back on Tatooine, and I'll be honest with you, could open up a discussion. I looked at a lot of the rumors that are circling around how they're approaching Disney, this Book of Boba Fett, and they're continually getting stronger that it really is, for lack of a better phrase, a Mandalorian season 2.5, and not that it's about the Mandalorian, but they're actually going to pick up like directly from where it stopped. And then there's all kinds of rumors that Pedro Pascal is on set. You've got Katie Sackhoff on set. I mean, I think they're going to mix in and advertise and promote, just like if they're having like an Arrowverse, like Elseworlds or something like that. And I don't see a scenario in the world where Filoni does not put this character in there.
Yeah, that's yeah. I agree, because it's like he fits, like you guys all say, he fits right in, and I didn't know that either, as what Paystrick was saying, that because I don't watch, like, I never finished Clone Wars, I didn't watch Bad Batch or any of that, but the fact that they mentioned that there was a duel between them and it's not around anywhere, this would fit perfectly. And when you think about how these shows are stylized as, Westerns, and then you're thinking duels, and he's already a fan favorite amongst all the animated shows. I don't see why whom Filoni worked, so yeah, it's like, of course he has to be in there. It would fit, in my opinion, with whatever was going on with the bounty hunters situation, everything with Boba Fett. it all feels right. It doesn't feel too far fetched like some of our other, theories and speculations. Like you could see this happening with like 100% certainty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think I agree totally. And Desi, going to you, from an artist's perspective, I don't know how they're going to portray this character in live action, but I really think that they're going to. But if this character shows up, I don't see a scenario where Hot Toys skips on this figure.
Yeah, the character's been in so many shows. We know this show is going to be the bounty hunter mosh pit, right?
Right.
Mhm.
How do you have, and it's a Western, how do you have a Western show without a character that has a Western hat, right? I mean, it's perfect just for that alone,
Right.
even design wise, right? If he's in the show, you're definitely going to get a hot toy from this guy.
Yeah, and how many of you in the chat would actually go with pre-order or reserve at your comic shop or plan on getting a Cad Bane? Let us know. I'm not good at putting up these polls yet. I'll have to consult with Dante because he does good with these polls. I should put one up. But go ahead and let me know on the chat. Is Cad Bane a hard pass? Is Cad Bane a buy like the Hoth Luke for you? Look, guys, I'm really stoked about this book of Boba Fett. And I'm not, Desi, I know you and I, just staying with you, you and I talked about it, that we were hoping that it's not the Mandalorian season 2.5. But I think what they mean by that, actually, though, I think they're going to tie in some of the Mandalorian lore, which obviously, I think that's why you're going to see Din Djarin in there. I think that's why you're going to see Bo-Katan in there. It's going to also promote their show. You're going to see characters like this. There's going to be a ton of OT service as well. I mean, they can do a lot, and I'm excited because I really do think this is going to be the return of Sam Jackson.
I sure hope so. I think everyone else hopes so too. And yes, we're absolutely going to get all those Mando characters and all those actors in the Book of Boba. Just look at the interviews. If you guys follow that, look at the interviews with the actors. You could tell they're trying to hide it, but you're going to get a lot of those actors, including Pedro Pascal, and he's going to be in that show. And of course, Grogu, right? Yeah. And Sam Jackson, they're going to eventually bring him back. I don't think Sam Jackson says no to that.
No. And Dante, real quick to you, I know we've talked about Mace, but we're just talking about the Book of Boba Fett. Forget about the Hot Toys figure for a minute. Do you think Mace Windu is going to, whether it's the ending credit scene or some kind of thing, is he going to be in there in the Book of Boba Fett?
No, there's no chance. I don't think so.
No chance.
It
That's what
has
you
to
got.
be. It has. I mean, we've been talking about for like months about this. Like Mace Windu. There's a lot of rumors out there. A bunch of videos. A bunch of people talking about it. Even he mentioned it. He took it out. Put it this way: Darth Maul went back to life after being cut in two.
Yeah.
Palpatine came back to life after being dropped in a freaking hole.
And blown up.
Boba Fett was eaten and shit it out and came back to life again.
Yeah.
Look at all my bases on here.
They would just cut the arm or the hand. Has to be back. 100% has to be back. And not only that, if he's back in some way, shape, or form, they have to release the original. As we knew him in the prequels. Has to be. So they will have prequels, or we will have Mandalorian or Boba Fett Windu. 100%.
Brother Cousins, I know we talk about it a lot, but we're talking about Cad Bane, we're talking about surprises, and forget about the Hot Toys. I think we all know we're going to get a base. But
Yeah.
do you see Samuel Jackson? I think they're going to blow this Book of Boba Fett out of the park, personally. You're going to get stuff like Cad Bane. Look at the chat. Everybody went nuts. They saw Cad Bane. I think you're going to see some old favorites like Bosk. You may even see Aura Singh, another, like a mother figure, to Boba Fett. Probably like some were saying in the chat, some old, Jango Fett or old Young Days Boba footage. I think this is the return of Samuel Jackson to Star Wars.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think Eric in the chat was saying a DX Mace Windu. Absolutely. Yes. Please, a DX figure. Yes, we definitely gonna get that. And I think, yeah, definitely getting two versions, one from the show. I mean, he's gonna come back. I've been saying this the whole time we've been on this panel. I really think that's gonna be the end. That's gonna be the at the end of the show, at the end of the season, that's going to be the clip that they play at the end. That's going to be, yeah, we're going to see Samuel Jackson. Everybody's going to lose their shit, and it's going to be great. They got to top that. They got to top the Luke thing. It's really hard to top the whole Luke thing from Mandalorian, but if you give us Samuel Jackson back as Mace Windu, oh my God, especially looking in that fan art, looking anything like that, oh my God.
Oh, you're telling
It's
me.
going to be crazy.
And I agree with what Jay said. It's gonna be hard to top what Luke did at the end of the last season of The Mandalorian, right? But if you see Mace Windu coming, and at the end he's just looking you straight to the camera, he says, "I'm back, mother," and then ends. Forget it, man. Easter pre-order for me, right there.
I need to brew more coffee. You just said it. If he ended it with that phrase.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. I think the world, I forget about the internet breaking. That would be just like, wow. Yeah. I mean, oh my goodness gracious. And look at all these comments on Cad Bane. Everybody, look, I don't even have to ask about Mace, but so many would buy Cad Bane. So I'm going to ask you about this next figure in the chat. Let me know if this is an instant buy or an instant pass when I put this up on the screen. And I'm going to go to Desi here first. Desi, is it possible with this figure? And why or why not? And it doesn't have to be this year. It could be next year. It could be the year after. As a matter of fact, is it possible with this figure? And is it actually possible, first and foremost, that this character would come back into Star Wars on Disney Plus? And I got the wrong one up, so give me
yes on this one.
Yes, right.
Let me see if I could do this. Did that work? Give me 1 second and see if I still have it, my friends. All right, give me 1 minute. I'm going to share it. Here it comes, baby. Here we go.
At least I hope so.
Even a Gungan, right? Like some type of Gungan. I have no overwhelming need to see this character back, but I'll tell you that. But if they release a hot toy, yes, I would get him. I think that the Black Series version of him was one of the best technical toys they released in that series, as far as paint apps and everything, whether you hate the character or not. Just from a technical perspective, it was a great figure, and I'd love a Hot Toys version of him. But I don't need to see him in the show. It's just me.
Paint strick. Are they gonna come on? I don't know.
I mean, it's something special and different. Hot Toys sometimes likes to make things different. And so it'd be one of those things that they'd make. It wouldn't be a lot, and it would go to wait list, and it'd sell for a couple $100 more. And because people would pass on it at first, but then over time it'd be like, maybe I should have bought that one. And then they'll hit eBay, and it'll be too late, and they'll be on your show looking to see how much it is. So,
well, let me know in the chat, you guys. Keep letting me know. I see some of you. Is this a buy? Is this a pass? Is it a maybe? I'm curious because this is Dante, a very peculiar character.
Yeah, it is, and I'm just gonna echo what Pastrick said. We're gonna project ourselves to 2 years from now, or 3 years from now, when Aries is doing his market chart show. And today we have what's the name of this character?
Jar Jar Binks. Tried to
Jar
get
Jar Binks,
$600 tier range.
Jar Jar Binks. They just hit the $600 tier range, and everyone's gonna be like, "We were just trashing this figure." I mean, I'm telling you right now, if this figure is announced, absolutely they want pre-order.
Yes,
100%. I probably will buy two just because I know the other one I'm gonna sell it and flip it. Because I mean, no, it will be definitely a low pre-order number, but it's gonna be those figures that you're gonna be like Patrick said, you're gonna regret not getting.
That's right.
Because this is your chance, your one chance. I regret not getting the Han Solo with the Snowtrooper outfit, and also the Luke with the Snowtrooper. I'm sorry, with the Stormtrooper outfit.
Yep.
I regret those two not getting. If
I
I'm
agree.
gonna, oh man, your lights are
Yeah.
blinking right there. Poltergeist over there.
My lights are going crazy. Let me go
Oh
fix that.
man,
No, leave it like that. It's Halloween. It's okay.
it's
Right.
okay, right? Man,
It's the
we don't-
excitement of Jar Jar. Everything's going nuts.
We
It's
don't want to see
electric, baby.
Pennywise popping up in the back. He will flip out for sure.
Oh, man.
Now he can't sleep tonight. You're going,
He won't
Dante.
able to sleep. I know. He loves clowns. No, but I'm saying
No
this figure,
Pennywise.
yeah, no, 100%. This figure, I think, I can see this one coming.
Yeah, and brother cousins, look, this is a lot of fun. But if Hot Toys is going to go down a path where they're going to produce figures like the Tusken Raider, or even like using Venom as an example, or this one or that one, or some offshoot character, and this isn't even a human head sculpt. I mean, I don't think this would be blowing doors down. There are a lot of people in the chat that would buy this. I think for Star Wars, you would almost feel like, I want to get this to complete the collection. But I don't see an issue with them selling 2,000-3,000 of this. Do you?
Yeah, I definitely. This would be I'm with. I want it. This is a day one pre-order. This is a day one pre-order for me. And the thing is, just think about the technical aspects of that figure. Like, yeah, it's a CG model, and we all know he was kind of weird in the prequels and everything. But like looking at the soft goods of his outfit, that would be a real good Hot Toys figure in 1/6 scale. All the details and his little ears and everything, that would be great. So yeah, day one, definitely.
I agree.
Okay, I'm going to go to Page Strick here. This is a movie question for Star Wars, a show question, which can obviously translate into a hot toy. Is it possible that this character shows up in either the Book of Boba Fett, Andor series, one of the series
You have to
that
wonder.
are coming next year? Next year.
Yes, as we don't know. There's so much that they haven't told us. He's in Solo, and then he shows up in Rebels. But what happened in between? How did he lose the crime syndicate? I want to know that. So I would love to see him back. Absolutely.
And Desi, let's go to you real quick. George Lucas has been consulting a lot with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and Disney, and they're working together on a lot of stuff. This was one of George Lucas's babies to actually have Darth Maul be the baddie in the sequels. Now, they brought him back in the Solo movie. Of course, Ron Howard took over direction, and he was in the ending scene there. But I really, really think, for whatever reason, and I think it's a good reason because I love this character, that Disney wants this character active. What do you think about Darth Maul coming back?
Please stop killing him. Just stop.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'll say, look, that episode of Rebels, and I was mentioning Bill Burr, and that was my favorite episode of Mando. My favorite episode of Rebels is that episode where, spoiler, he dies again. Just that fight, it's 2-second fight, very samurai style. It was great, but just stop killing this guy. Because yes, you're absolutely right, Aries. They definitely want to bring him back. He's starting to be like Darth Vader. It's just that iconic.
And I know that he died in Rebels or this or that, but it looks like that. I just feel like they're not going to pay attention to that. I actually feel like that they're setting it up. And this character, this kind of alien race could live like 300 something years, to have a long, long time. And it's escaping me right now what they're called, brother cousins. But I actually think that I think personally, I think Darth Maul is going to be involved. I think the big reveal in the Obi-Wan series is not only is Obi-Wan going out to, help out some of the Jedi that are being hunted by the Inquisitors, and Darth Vader is going to sense Obi-Wan. But I think while Vader is looking for Obi-Wan, Maul is looking for Obi-Wan. And I think you might have a 3-way fight. I think they might blow us out of the water.
Yeah. I definitely see that happen. Rematch. You took my legs. Rematch.
Dude.
Definitely. So this is gonna happen. I definitely see him bringing back. They put him back in Solo for a reason. I remember when I met Ray Park a couple of years ago. It was the same actually the same convention where I met Bo-Katan. Her name is Katie Sackhoff. I met them. Yeah, it's funny that they were at that same convention and they were coming back into Star Wars. So they probably were in talks back then. Matter of fact, Tamora Morrison was there as well. Now that I think about it, all of them were there.
They knew.
Yeah, so they knew. They definitely knew something. So, and he couldn't say anything. And this was before Solo came out, and he was kind of like, yeah, he's like, you may see me around. So I'm like, yeah, I really think he's coming back. Absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah, and I think they'd have to do it carefully with how they did Rebels. I don't know. I just get the hunch that because Lucas really wanted this to happen, and of course you had Rebels. I don't know. I get the hunch they're going to do it. Maybe they could tweak a little bit. I don't know, Anthony. I have a hunch that they want Maul and they want Ray Parks.
Here's what I'm thinking. Dude, no, because my head spins on things like this. We're
and I agree with everyone in the comments, both the argument with it and against it. I just feel like Disney's going to want it.
No, I do too. But what I'm thinking, I don't know how they can do it, but they can have this moment where there's a standoff, and there's Fett, and there's Mace Windu, and there's Darth Maul. And they're both attacking Fett, but he can evade, and then somehow they clash with each other, but then it switches, and then they clash, like a cool fight scene. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would just be
spilling my coffee.
I know, right? It just would be so awesome, dude. So I mean, yeah, I'd love to see them both. I prefer Maul over Vader, honestly. I just love him, even though we grew up with the OT. Of course, Vader was always Vader. There wasn't this. I mean, yeah, he was Anakin, but there wasn't the prequels yet. There wasn't the Clone Wars stuff. So I look at Vader as just Darth Vader. So in comparison, and again, Brother Cousins is saying he's at the end of Solo. Like, why would they do that? It's not a typical just follow. If they're following like a Marvel formula and they're putting these end credit scenes in movies, they always, for the most part, they pay off. Something's continuing onward with that story. So I definitely want to see him in the show. And dude, I don't know. And as far as that Jar Jar thing goes, I was thinking about that. Seriously, give me a 2-pack with little Anakin, and that thing would.
That's perfect. Oh my god.
Oh, I'd buy it.
Because it's a tiny little, little figure, just like an Ewok. Wouldn't
Then
I don't
he
think
could
it'd
go
be
with
much.
Qui-Gon.
Yeah, the whole thing, that whole, it would just blend all of the Phantom Menace stuff together.
All right, so let me ask you guys in the chat this. Since Anthony said young Anakin with Jar Jar for the Phantom Menace, if they gave you a 2-pack of that, how many of you would jump on that weren't going to jump on Jar Jar? Let me know. I would definitely buy the Jar Jar, but there's no way I'd miss that 2-pack. I saw the Phantom Menace like 80 million times. So that would be phenomenal for me. Jerry Gomez, Dante, brings up a good point. I wouldn't want them to keep bringing back characters back from the dead just for fan service. That's true. So I feel like they would have to, they'd have to do something right, or I don't know. What do you think?
Well, like Desi said that they kill Maul in Rebels, and then pretty much Disney saying, if he dies, he dies. At this point, he's dead, alive. I mean, they're doing all this for a reason, and it's not just bringing back people from the death, but if you do your math right, if you see how Darth Maul died in the prequels, you see how the Emperor died in the original trilogy, and how they came back to life, it will make perfect sense for Windu to be back, right? Because they didn't cut him in half. They just drop it off the window with a severe hand. Vader has his hand cut. Luke has his hand cut. They didn't die. So so that's what I'm saying. Like, they're bringing characters like that. Now, if you tell me that they're gonna bring back, for example, Tarkin back to life when they blow the whole thing. I'm like, okay, these guys are out of their mind right now. They're nuts, or they're gonna bring back, what's his name? Your favorite character,
Bale.
Bell Organa, that when they destroy the planet, So
He
they
wasn't
need to-
on it.
Oh, he wasn't on it. Oh, don't
I
tell
don't
me
know, I
that.
just made that up.
Oh man, can you imagine that? Oh, he wasn't on it. But you know where I'm going with this, right? They need to be strategic how they bring back characters back to life. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting. Your guys' opinion. Obi-Wan series. I think we all kind of are guessing that the Book of Boba Fett, that maybe the biggest shock could be Mace Windu. Obi-Wan series. I feel like that there's something there. And we know we're going to get this epic scene with, this great fight that Kathleen Kennedy teased and that they're teasing. And maybe it's Maul, but maybe it's something else. What would be the big shocker or moment in the Obi-Wan series that you guys think could happen besides a rematch of Vader, of Anakin and Obi-Wan? Do you guys have any thoughts on that? Could it be that even if we saw Mace Windu, that, could there be, Anthony, I'll go to you first and throw it up. Could there be like a three-way or a four-way fight or one of those Western standoffs, if you will, where it's
Right,
like,
that's what I was
wow,
thinking,
who do I fight?
Well, look, they can't arguably, and the prequels for me are they're not as, OT's the way to go. But I mean, that Duel of the Fates was still one of the best fight scenes in all of Star Wars to date, 2021. It's still up there. It's still like right at the top. I mean, and you can do something really cool like that, and bringing in old characters. And I think that would be at that top tier echelon of like a Luke moment returning, kind of, you know what I mean? Like maybe not as because it's Luke, but it would be this huge moment. And let's not also forget that, because we love all these old characters and what have yous, but when Mandalorian was new and we were introduced to a lot of new characters. So I think with these shows coming out, we're also going to be introduced to a lot of more new characters that we don't even know yet that might be equally as awesome. So that's another thing to consider,
Well, absolutely. And Patrick, could the big moment in the Obi-Wan series be, since it's already teased in the Ahsoka series, and even though it wasn't mentioned in the original trilogy, that maybe during the fight, someone that gets involved, maybe one of the cool things could be maybe Ahsoka Tano shows up, maybe Thrawn shows up. What say you?
You have to wonder, is it possible? I mean, really, at this point, Disney and Lucasfilm have proven that they're willing to do anything. Like, they're going to do stuff that we won't even expect. Like Anthony was saying, where they bring different characters in. Like, it's like, who's this guy? We've never seen him before. And so I'm really just buckled up in my seat, just anxious to see what they do next. Because, I mean, they're full of surprises.
Yeah, I really think that they are. And is Rosario Dawson brother cousins, is she going to be in the Obi-Wan series because of the news that now Hayden Christensen's going to show up in her series?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I could see them weaving her out through there. It's like you were saying, it's kind of going to be like what they do in the Arrowverse and how they just have these characters flow in and out. I think I even saw John Dingle on the new Superman show. So I see them doing that type of stuff with this whole Star Wars universe on TV. So yeah, why not? Absolutely.
He needs to be Green Lantern, man.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we can get Benedict Cumberbatch I wish we can get Doctor Strange to play Thrawn. I know that that's already been nixed, but man, that would be great.
It would have worked. It would have been
a good job.
It would have worked.
Yep.
100% it would have worked.
Absolutely.
I
get
see
it. It's a weird typecast now, right? They'll be like, oh, look, it's just the Disney circle of actors. And you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It would have been awesome,
but man, he would have been.
He would have killed.
I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get Desi. I feel like we're going to get introduced to Thrawn before the Ahsoka series. Sure, it could be the Mandalorian season 3, but I really think that I have a hunch we're going to see him. I don't necessarily. It's possible in the Book of Boba Fett, but I really think we're going to see him in the Obi-Wan series. It could even be in the Andor series, especially because there's a relationship there. Tarkin, Thrawn, the Emperor, Vader. He's around during that time, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that Thrawn is more of the military person, even more than Tarkin. I think more of a political military leader for the Empire. I could be wrong. So it's been a while, but I think we're going to see Thrawn.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to show up in the Book of Boba.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think he's going to have. He's already been name dropped, so I think he's going to have a little bit more than a name drop, probably in Obi-Wan. Specifically named by either Vader, or if Tarkin's on the show, or if the Emperor's on the show, named by one of those. Because you're right, Thrawn is more of a military figure, the military genius. So that will give the viewers some kind of this guy's important. Vader's talking about this guy, right? And that'll set up the Ahsoka show and why Thrawn is not just all of a sudden important. Vader knew about him. He was Vader's, right-hand man, or not to that extent, but you get where I'm going with that, right? So,
oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm spilling coffee, baby. 131. Hit the like button. Did you smash the like button? Absolutely. Howard's got to hear a lot of this stuff. All right, we got to put Dante. It's time to put the Man of Hot Collectibles on the spot again. So here we go, Dante. Is it possible that sometime, and probably because, well, actually, no, I'm not even going to say because of upcoming content. Remember, Dante, we got another Rogue One figure that just came out. So is it possible?
And
actually,
I think,
so we get a 2-pack of this. Not to have you answer just on him, because look, I'll bring up the whole Nightmare Batman thing again. A lot of people look for Chirrut. It goes for over $500. At the Lux one's getting close to the $600 tier range. These two go hand in hand.
I'm gonna say yes, and I think if they actually do this character, I don't think it's gonna be from Rogue One, but I think it may be from the Andor series.
I do think he's going to show up again in one of the, whether there or in some spinoff. I could actually see them doing a series, Dante, where it's about the story of Chirrut Imwe. Bring Donnie Yen in there, and they have this, or how they got to where they were.
Right.
When we see them for the first time on Rogue One.
Right, and maybe more like a cameo type of thing, not like he interacts with him, because clearly in the movie they met at that time, but maybe it's just a small cameo, and that could be just kind of like the hook they need to release, or maybe he's part of something. Who knows?
Yeah.
It is a tough one, because it's been so many years ago, and nothing.
Well, like Adrian Underwood said, why Baze never came out is beyond me. This would sell. Clone Trooper says, I believe Baze is coming. We just got 3 Rogue One figures. Desi, what do you think?
Yeah. And the reason he didn't come out originally was because it was 2015, 2016. It was that time, right?
that
where
time.
None of the Rogue One figures sold that well, to our knowledge. That's why. But yeah, I'm surprised that at this point, especially with them going back to Rogue One, that this particular character has not been released. Look at the actor, right? We know, guys, Hot Toys, it's a China company. So if they're going to release a character, it's going to be one of these guys. I hope they release Baze. I really want them.
Yeah, and Pate Strick, I mean, look, I actually think that they would sell maybe more Baze. They would sell more Baze than they would even the Shoretrooper grunt. I think he would sell great.
He would, absolutely. And another character I want to bring up is Saul Guerrera. Are we going to see him in the Endor series? He might come back, because he was in Rogue One. He died in Rogue One, and he was also in Fallen Order, the Clone Wars, Rebels, and even
That's
the Bad
right.
Batch.
Yep.
So I'm anxious to see if they do anything with that character during this time.
That's very
Who
interesting.
played him in Rogue One again?
I
Forrest
can't remember
Whitaker.
his name.
Was it Forrest Whitaker?
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought so.
He would be a great hot toy,
Yes.
just because of how
Yeah,
his,
I'd buy that in a
you know what I
heartbeat.
mean?
Awesome design.
Yep.
Great character.
I love Forrest Whitaker.
Mhm.
Oh man, yeah, that would be. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, here's the thing, brother cousins. They weren't afraid to label the one Shoretrooper Rogue One squad leader. There was no fear on Hot Toys' part that it wouldn't sell.
Yeah.
So they must have some type of data. Is it possible that they also know that when it comes to this character here, that this is going to sell for them?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was just thinking about it. The best way to get this figure out, because like you guys said, it's been a while since the Rogue One came out, and Chirrut Imwe, that figure is long gone now. So if you're gonna give us a Baze Malbus, you're gonna have to bring Chirrut back. So a 2-pack, yes, we know a 2-pack would piss the original collectors off that got those figures back in the day. So I think the best way to remedy this is to give us a 2-pack, or either do another Chirrut Imwe, but probably not give him that base with the stormtrooper helmets and stuff like that. Give him some different. Give us another. I mean, it's not. It's not hard to cut on those printers or to give us another Donnie Yen figure. Give us another Chirrut Imwe, or do a 2-pack with them, or give us the 2-pack and a single Baze Malbus. I think that's the best way I really think that's the best way to do it, because it's been so long. And I mean, they got to see the popularity in that line. They didn't see it at first because, 2015, 2016, people weren't buying these figures. But these figures have aged like fine wine. So now they know anytime there's a big interest on the secondary market, they know they can go back to that well and reproduce and make those figures. And when Endor coming out, they're going to do it. If they don't, they're literally leaving money on the table. But Hot Toys has done that before.
Absolutely.
They've done it before, and you can see what Cuervo 383 says here. Need that Cassian. You're going to get a Cassian Andor, and it's going to go well in the Rogue One collection, even if you don't buy it for the Andor series. You got to have Baze Malbus in this collection. And honestly, I think a lot of people are going to want Chirrut. I actually think they're going to have some type of special with those two in it.
Yeah.
But I really think a 2-pack, guys. How would you think, Anthony, a 2-pack would go? Like, okay, they're not Batman and Superman. I get it. They're not that popular. But would a Chirrut Imwe without all the stuff like Brother Cousins was saying, just the figure, and a Baze Malbus 2-pack, would that do well for Hot Toys?
Yes and no, because for people like me who already have Chirrut, don't tie me into a 2-pack to get Baze.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But they
Like
did
a
tie you
Batman
in to get
situation.
the Dark Suit Superman, though.
Yeah,
Kinda,
that's
yeah.
exactly how that is.
They did do that, which is also kind of shitty. I mean, if you think about it, because if you have, really, because if you have a Nightmare Batman, then what are you going to do? And now you're doubly screwed, because now you're going to watch what happens. You're going to see a lot of loose Black Suit Supermans and a lot of loose Nightmare Batmans for sale. And people are going to be like, well, I don't know if I want to buy this. It doesn't even have a box. It doesn't have anything. Because there's a lot of people that are in that boat where they're like, well, I'll get it, but I'm only keeping one of these figures, and I'm just going to offload the other one because they're simply not interested in it. Where I get with Chirrut and Baze, it's like, they're buddies. So if they did it, I think that they need to do it as the 2-pack and also release Baze as a single pack.
Exactly. And do
Like
small
Han
runs.
and Chewie did,
And do
there's
small
the
runs.
2-pack and the individuals. Yep. And that'll work. And honestly, you have to wonder seriously, what the hell is Andor about? Like, what's its purpose of a show? So if nothing else to, continue on Star Wars lore, sure, but they factor all that stuff in. They've for decades about toy sales and what they're going to do, and that's all factored in. So there's a good opportunity that we're going to see some figures again like that for the Rogue One line. So I'm just hoping.
Well, hey, we may even see Darth Maul in that show.
It's
He
possible.
may show up in that.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
killed-
isn't that a year before the Rogue One? I mean, not Rogue One. Well, no, I mean that's
Yeah, I'm not sure where the
a year before
timeline
the
fits on
Solo
that.
series.
We have no
right?
idea.
The Solo
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, I mean, so that's very possible. Revenge of the Sith, 6th. Thank you for the 279 bomb. Where's Cassian Andor? Look, we were just talking about it, and I say he's definitely going to be coming with the Andor series. I mean, that's a no doubt. That's going to be the star of the show, right, Desi? I mean, you're going to get him there.
Yeah, you'll get him. I mean, we know that Hot Toys is doing at least one figure or at least 2 figures from every Disney-related live-action show, right? I'm talking about Star Wars and Marvel, right? So you're definitely going to get Cassian as the main character.
All right, so let's end it with this one. And no, it's not Bale, although Bale is coming. Bale, our God, is coming. But and not so much for a Hot Toy, but we could talk about that in ending here. Is it possible? And I'm not going to call on anybody. I'm going to wait for the reaction. That this character shows up in the Obi-Wan series.
Yes.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Jedi form. Yep.
If he shows up, what does that do? And I'm not going to ask myself the question because I researched this. What does that do to Qui-Gon Jinn in the secondary market?
Skyrocket.
Yeah,
If
easy for
All them people
$500.
that slept out on him, man.
Yeah.
Too bad.
There's 2 options for this, right? There's 2 options for this. If Hot Toys doesn't, do a figure with the Obi-Wan label, then yeah, the is gonna skyrocket the prices, but if they do release this figure again with the Obi-Wan label, then probably the prices are gonna keep, they won't increase as much. It probably is gonna maintain in what it is right now, just because it is from the original, from the prequels. It might not, go super high, but honestly, I don't think. I think if this is confirmed rumor that it's gonna be in the Obi-Wan show, that is gonna be their chance to reissue not reissuing it, but putting this figure back again with a different label in the packaging.
Yeah, that's the other question. Where do you think, Brother Cousins? Could it go like the way Dante said they reissue this? I mean, I think we all agree this character. I mean, he basically went on Tatooine to get some training that Yoda told him, have some training I have for you to, communicate with Qui-Gon. So I think this character's in the show. The question is, well, how does that relate to a Hot Toy? I
think we'll definitely get him in the Jedi form. I definitely with a slightly different look. Liam Neeson's a little, quite a bit older than he was 20 something years ago when this came out. So I think they'll change it, but they'll change up his look a little bit now that he's in Jedi form. So we'll get something like that. And I also think here's your 2-pack. Here's your definite 2-pack with the younger Obi-Wan, with the Padawan Obi-Wan.
You said it, baby.
Yeah,
that's your 2-pack.
Yep, you said it.
That's your 2-pack. Yep.
Because, you said it. Page Strick, what do you think on that? I think he hit something on the head.
I think he's exactly right. I think if he shows up, he's going to have a huge role, and it's going to have the Luke Skywalker ripple effect, where it's like you could get the Return of the Jedi Luke for a fair price, but then he shows up in one episode, and the next day the price just goes through the ceiling. And we're going to see the same thing here, I feel like.
Yep.
Yeah. Anthony?
I've said this before, but for those who didn't know, from a certain point of view, man, that book is awesome. That's what it's called. It's for A New Hope, and every chapter goes the whole movie from start to finish. But each chapter is through the eyes of somebody else, obscure things, even like a mouse droid. It was one chapter through the eyes of, but it goes in chronological order of A New Hope. And they had this really cool moment where Obi-Wan is out in Tatooine, and it's still A New Hope, but Qui-Gon comes to him, as a ghost, talks to him about Luke and all this cool stuff. And now those books, it was amazing. And when you read that, you're like, wow, that was really badass, because you only saw Qui-Gon in Phantom Menace, and I think he's one of the coolest Jedis. So it would make sense to kind of piggyback off of that in the novel into the show. Whether or not they would make him like a reissued figure, I don't know. I don't think because he's not that old of a figure. So I think no matter what, his price would go way up, though. And I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
And if they do, and if they do come out with a slightly different version because he's older, it's only going to make that Phantom Menace one go up really high, because it'll be the OG one. It'll be the original one, and it'll have a crazy effect. And we're getting more again now. We're at 121 in here. Did you hit the like button, baby? It's Halloween Eve.
And Liam Neeson said he wanted to do it again.
Yeah.
It's been on record. Of course, probably everybody does their actors, but
and he's not going to tell
Star
you.
Wars.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, they don't, a lot of the times the actors, they try to throw you for a loop.
Yeah, please
hit the like button, everybody. We're at 2.5 hours here on Halloween Eve. A lot of us got to go trick-or-treating tomorrow, baby. Some of us are dressing up like the Hot Toys Wizard. Oh, let's find out what's going on the channels. You guys got 30 seconds each. Look, these guys are great. I have the link to their channels, everybody, within the video description below. Desi has his Facebook group with all his dioramas that he does, and his base toppers, his dioramas. He's working on one for me. It is epic. I've seen it in works already. Oh my goodness gracious. And you can get the link to his stuff within there, and then all these guys' channel in there. Let me give you guys 30 seconds each to tell everybody here what you're working on. Anthony, go first.
Hey, okay, well, let's go quick. I'm doing my reviews as well, just here and there. I got a couple in the works right now. We do our streams Tuesdays and Thursdays, though that may change. And I got Facebook group, same thing. Instagram, same name. Everything Six Scale Mafia, man. Everybody always here comes and goes on the panels. Everybody's more than welcome, as we know. We got a tight knit community. So that's basically it. That's I'll try to wrap it for that.
That's awesome. Page Strick, first time on here, and I love your channel, my friend.
Thank you. I have a channel, obviously. It's Page Strick. I'm also the co-owner of Instagram account 332nd Collectors Battalion. We do photography and tutorials on there, and I'll be doing a charity giveaway of a Hot Toys Captain Rex soon. So stay tuned for that. But that's pretty much all I've got going on for now.
Yeah, definitely check out Anthony and check out Page Strick on their channels. Brother Cousins.
Yep. So we know we got the top 10 hot toys that I hate. That video is up right now. Please go watch it. Real fun, real good content. Also, I got a video coming out next week about OT. Forgot his name. Obi-Wan. How did I forget that? OT Obi-Wan. And that's going to be a different type of video. It's going to be a review, but it's more about buying hot toys backwards, as Lynch kind of says. So it's going to be about obtaining grails. So that's going to be a real good thing. Like the best way to buy a grail figure, the best responsible way of buying a grail figure. So that's a video I'm working on. That'll be out next week. And got a bunch of reviews coming out down the line. And that's it for me.
That's awesome. Always awesome having you here. Dante, the man of hot collectibles. I know we're recording a show tomorrow, the Aries Terrington show. I know we have some stuff to talk about. Oh, if you're awesome. What's next that just premiered this morning? Talk to me, baby.
Yeah, so thank you, Aries. Thank you guys, and you guys from home, from wherever you are in the world, for watching. So we have a few things coming next week. The unboxing and review of the Shoretrooper from the Mandalorian is coming next week. Don't quote me on the exact date, but it's coming next week. We're gonna have another Unfiltered show as well. Most likely it's gonna be a Thursday live stream, because Wednesdays for me is really difficult. And then we have a live stream again on Friday on my channel next time. So stay tuned for that. And the What's Next episode 5 will probably be happening either Saturday or Sunday next week. So we have a lot of things going on. But if you haven't checked my What's Next episode 4 is on my channel right now. It was premiered in the morning. So, and yeah, tomorrow we have a lot to talk, Aries.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk. You don't want to miss that. Dante has some really interesting insight into some things, and we're going to discuss that on the Aries Terrington show going to come next week. And I can tell you that show is going to come first, and then later on in the week, I do have a market chart show where there's some crazy things going on again. Is it possible that the dark side Anakin, is it trending up again? Is it trending more down? How is Commander Cody doing? All I'll say is, ouch, it's hot, baby. And there's a lot of interesting things going on within the secondary market as well. So you want to watch out for that. Of course, what Dante said, we're going to be live on Friday night on Dante's show. Absolutely. And is it possible I'm going to be live again next Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern? And I say yes. Look, we got so many in here. Even while we're doing the closing thoughts, I so much appreciate that. Please subscribe to all of these guys. Desi, I love that thing you're working on with me. So, guys got to check Desi out. I'm going to go ahead and promote Desi. I've got the link to Desi at sixscalecantina.com. Actually, I got all these guys at sixscalecantina.com. Go to the resources and links page, and you'll see pretty much everybody in the community that I could find. And if I'm missing anybody, let me know. I'll put you in there. There's a link, all the resources and links. So you'll see Metamorphic Customs in there. You got to check out his work. Desi, I don't even know if you want to show the thing that and if you don't, that's fine that you're working on with me. But real quick, I'm going to give you 30, 40 seconds. Anything you want to show, I'll give you a solo layout or anything you want to say about what you're working on.
Well, just working on dioramas all the time. So having a great time. Thank you, Aries. Still working on yours. Still working on that. I've got a lot of custom projects I'm working on. I'm actually working on a custom project now for someone who has a custom Beetlejuice figure out of all things. So working on a miniature house that looked like the one that pops up in the movie poster.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Let me see that.
That is cool.
So it's gonna come in a platform, right? I'm still working on the base, right? So if you remember the Beetlejuice, you're probably looking at this like, well, what is that? If you remember the Beetlejuice movie poster, like you've got Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice sitting on a miniature house, right? So he's got a 6-scale figure. It's going to sit on the house.
Very
so
cool.
I get to do all custom kind of things and just have a lot of fun. But thank you, Aries. And you can find me on Instagram. It's probably the best place. Metamorphic Customs.
And you and I are going to be working on something soon too.
Awesome.
For sure.
Look forward to it.
Because that's one thing for me, man. I'm just going to get so seriously. Like, I do a lot of photography too, a lot of different poses. And I am always like, I need cool faces, man. You know, and it really accents, you know, so you're not flat-footed or stuck on a pole. I need like rubble angles that you can really
elevation.
Those. Yeah, exactly. And I'm telling you, man, I love all your stuff. So we're gonna,
Thank you so much, Anthony. Appreciate it.
Of course,
and
of course.
And Desi, I think the best way to kind of get in touch with you is to message you on Instagram, right? Tell them what they're interested in, and then you guys can communicate from there, right?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at metamorphic_customs. You can message me there, or just on Facebook. Find me on Facebook too. I'm the only Metamorphic Customs there, and you can message me there as well. So.
And Manahawk Collectibles, Dante, thank you for putting this up. Don't forget to join the 6-Scale Cantina Facebook group. I think we're close to 600 already, which is like or close. I think it was like 592 before I started tonight. And Dante, I think yours was so close to 1,000 or maybe over, right? I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, right now we have 998. So
let's get come on, two of you guys in there.
So so I put the link as well. So I'm just gonna hijacking your stream to promote my shit.
No, that's good. You know, I do want to let everybody know here as we're signing off for those that are left in the chat. And let me see if I actually was able to pull this up. Yes, so only tonight only. And I'll see if I could put it up in the banners because I was just made aware of this. And I'll put this up. Cantina mugs, 31% off tonight only. use code Scary Special.
Mm.
So just so
Wow.
you guys know, I know they would make great holiday gifts, but I'll flash this up on the screen. You save a ton tonight if you're interested in an official mug. I know that Patrick, you got yours. I got
Yes, I
mine
do.
right here, and I'll flash this up on the screen. I think it's discounted really well. And even before that, don't even pay attention to that. Use Scary Special. It's 31% off. You can see here. So if you're interested in that, go to sixscalecantina.com and click on the little cup thing I have right on the website. It'll take you here. And there's a special tonight that's pretty significant off. So with that, remember, I don't always buy coffee out. But when I do,
Mhm.
I buy from Six Scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends. See ya.
These guys.